You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo. What's good? What's good, man? Y'all know what time it is, man. The doctor's in the house. Yes, sir, man. Hopefully we sound good. How it sound, Ty? What up, Ty in the building on the early tip? Ty, check your DMs, Ty. Well, I mean, yeah, check your DMs, bro. Or your PMs, my bad. All right, man. He said I just respond. All right, bet, man. But yeah, you know, before we get started, man, let me make sure that it sounds good. Yo. Before I get started, make sure the mic sounds good, because sometimes it be tripping. I don't hear nothing. All right, man. You see, I just respond. All right, bet. Okay, yeah, it's good now. All right, bet. So look, man, check this out. Before we get started, let's go ahead and say our prayers like we always do. So please join me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for waking us up to see the brightness of another beautiful day, Lord. Please let us remember to always thank you when we get up and thank you and praise you when we lay down, Lord. Please give us patience to not only understand ourselves and be courteous to others, but also be mindful of things that we say and do, that how it can impact others, you know, and always keep us focused on you, because if we take away our ego, take away our pride, that's when we will not only enjoy life, but be a blessing to others as well, Lord. And please let us never forget that we should do unto others as we would like done to ourselves, and even better, Lord. And when we focus on you, that'll help us achieve those goals and embrace one another as brother and sister, regardless of anything secular, you know. And please, Lord, forgive us for our missteps, and just bless us physically, financially, mentally, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and emotionally. In Jesus' name, amen. My bad. That was kind of a mumble jumble prayer. I got to tighten up. I was thinking of something in my mouth, was saying something else. Yeah. I mean, if you're here now, I wasn't sure if you was gonna wake up and be here. I think it was yeah. I think it was amen, bro. Amen. I think it was Illuminati, bro. And now I kind of feel bad, but since he was trying to troll, I don't feel bad because he was trolling. I'm pretty sure Rello is Illuminati, bro. Cause I was like, bro, his voice kind of sounded familiar about what church. So I can't wait for Illuminati to come back. I'm gonna ask him. Illuminati be trolling, bro. And when you said that he had an account for a long time, I'm pretty sure that was Illuminati. If someone bet me $1 million, I would bet Illuminati. It just came to me this morning. Yeah, I think it was Illuminati, bro. But yeah, man, let's get into it, man. So let's get into it, man. Let's get right to it, man. So I was sleeping last night, and I woke up this morning. Not last night. I woke up this morning, and I was just like, man, you know, the 154 pound division just had a boom, you know, like, yeah, I got taken to homie core, facts. I don't know for sure now. That's just me thinking. That's what I think. I don't know, but I think it was. But yeah, I was just thinking about the sudden explosion of the 154 pound division, right? And I just think it's so interesting because, you know, I think that we have to give the appropriate credit to the appropriate person. And I think it's Terence Crawford, man. I think Terence Crawford has been has made a resurgence, has revitalized that division. And, you know, I just don't think that, and I don't know how, because I'm like, you know, 154 pound division, remember, it was just like, it was so dry, right? Up until a couple months ago, it was so dry. It was just TSZYU before he lost, and then you had Jermell Charlo, who was essentially inactive since losing to Canelo, and then you had a whole bunch of Eastern Europeans, you know, whether it was Israel Madrimov getting the title from Kubranov, whether it was Bakram Mirzataliev, you know, and then, you know, now Sebastian Fundora. And then when Spence, I'll even give credit to Spence too. When Spence and Terence Crawford entered the fray, it just got thick. And I just think that, you know, I just think it's funny because I'm not sure if it really got thick or we just started paying attention more. And I think it's the latter, right? I don't think people just materialized out of nowhere. I think that we just started paying attention, and, you know, and I think that we should pay attention to more boxing divisions because there's some good fighters in every division, you know. We just got to pay attention more. So I think 154, you know, the only thing I will say, the exception is that, you know, Serhiy Boachuk was still there, but the exception is that VERGIL Ortiz, because, you know, VERGIL Ortiz, while he was there, he was simultaneously not there, right? Because he never fights he always fought at a catch weight. He never fought at 154 for sure, you know, so he was kind of there and not there. But with the exception of him, is like, you know, Boachuk was still there. We still got Brandon Adams there, who beat Boachuk, even though he was losing. You know, we got Brian Mendoza there, who beat Fundora and lost to Tim Tszyu and Boachuk. You know, but now we have the emergence of, you still have Bakram there. Israel Madrimov is fairly new, so it's a combination of both. It's a combination of both. There's some new players that are being recognized, and there's also, you know, the two key players in mostly Terence Crawford and also Errol Spence. We'll see how he does when he returns, but I think that's dope, man. I think that's indicative of someone's star power, is that when they go to a division, all of a sudden that division gets interesting, you know. And I will say this too about Terence Crawford. A lot of people are asking who's the best. I think that's a great question. Who's the best at 154? I think you have to lean towards Terence Crawford by default, since his debut there was against a champion at 154, and a lot of people would lean towards Israel Madrimov being the best. I personally thought and still think Tim Tszyu is the best, but you know, he is coming off of a loss. His corner failed him, his team failed him, and the ring doctors failed him, so that's why he got a loss and lost his 2 belts and his undefeated streak. So I still think, and I'm not counting Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is number 1 because he's undisputed, right? He was undisputed, but I'm saying I'm counting him as inactive. Like, I don't count Jermell, or even when I say the 168-pound rankings, I don't never include Big Charlo, Jermall. So if Jermell Charlo returns, by default, he's number 1 as being undisputed and champion of recess and all that stuff. But excluding him right now, I would say you have to lean towards Terence Crawford because he went in there and beat a champion. And I personally believe that Israel Madrimov is the best champion at 154 when he beat him. I think Israel Madrimov beats Bakram Murzataliev, who's an IBF champion. I think he beats, he's the WBA champion himself, and I think he beats Sebastian Fundora, who's a WBC, WBO. So that's all 4 belts right there. So I do think that he's the best right now. But while I think Terence Crawford can beat Tim Tszyu, I personally think that Tim Tszyu is the biggest threat to Terence Crawford as far as stopping Terence Crawford from getting undisputed if he still pursues that goal. And I think that also, in addition to that, I think that VERGIL ORTIZ, you know, beating Boachuk in a controversial decision, which I don't think it was that controversial. I just thought it was a close fight. I thought it could have been a draw, but I'm not mad at VERGIL ORTIZ winning, because when I think it's a draw, that means I think it's indicative of being, me thinking it's a draw is indicative of how close it was, you know. So I don't know why people just people in this world, man, especially with the age of social media, they just want to be mad. They just want to be irate. They want to be upset. They want to point at something and say that's a conspiracy or that's a controversy, or there was nothing controversial to me about that fight. I thought it was a good fight, and I thought it was a close fight. It could have went either way. Like I said, I would have preferred a draw, but I could have seen how Boachuk won too. But that's what happens in a close fight. So you have judges, right? You know, it was a split decision. It was as close as you could get to a draw as it could have been. You know, and I thought that VERGIL ORTIZ, while he did get dropped twice, and I disagree with what was said yesterday. They said that he got dropped twice and he lost those rounds. That's crazy. He was not losing those rounds when he got dropped, in my opinion. He was winning the rounds where he dropped them. So it was a 10-8 round. It wasn't a 10-9 round or a 9-8 round, which would, because it's not, you know, so because I think it was said that it would be a 10-9 round if he lost. No, it would be a 9-8 round if he was losing and then got the drop, because he had Serhiy Boachuk would have had 9 points, and then the drop would have gave the other dude 8 points. So it would have been a 9-8 round. But no, Serhiy Boachuk was winning those fights. Yo, my boy Clone said, please refrain from inviting any more inebriated fools on the panel. You had a coked out Bobby Brown and drunk Ricky Martin on the panel. My boy Clone in the building. Appreciate that, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits and
Yo, I appreciate that, Clone, with the big super chat early in the morning, man. Shout out to you, brethren. Yes, sir, Clone in the building. Turn out with some goofy, yeah, bro. Yeah, come on, Ty. Like, anyway, I don't know, man. But like I said, I just appreciate those that come through that have a lick of sense, you know, and they take accountability, and we have good discussions, man. And I'm not knocking anybody, but I'm being honest, you know. I appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Clone, I implemented a new rule. We're gonna call it the Edwin rule. We not gonna call it that, but it was influenced by Edwin, man, and the guy who came through Rello or whatever. Those two guys. Yes, from now on, if you're not a member or you don't have a track record of being a responsible boxing fanatic, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what the word fan is short for, fanatic, right? If you don't have a history in the channel of being able to hold a coherent conversation and be able to formulate cohesive sentences, you cannot be. You can still join the panel, but you have a limit. You know, that's gonna be the Edwin rule and the Rello rule, or whoever that dude was. Bad, but yeah, he said 154 been super competitive, but with Bud and EJ there now is like we got a good amount of household names. Yep, facts for casuals to pay attention. Facts. Jamel Charlo for me, but next man up is Fedora or Bud because of my recency, my recency bias at the moment. Yeah, facts. My recent bias at the moment. Facts. I agree with that. He said, "What up, chat? What up with it, clone?" TSZYU was up there, but he got dropped off. Yeah, but it was circumstantial though, in my opinion. I mean, maybe I'm giving him too much slack, Ty. Maybe, but I don't really. Of course, it was a loss, so it has to be considered a loss. But everybody could see that TSZYU was handicapped for the duration, for the majority of that fight. You know, and after he got injured, he was handicapped for the duration of the fight, and he got injured in the second round. But before he got injured, it was a small sample size. But those first 2 rounds, he had Sebastian Fedora nose bleeding and his lip busted in the first 2 rounds. So while Fedora did win, and I salute him for that, I have to honestly consider that as well and recognize that, because like if I didn't see that fight and I was just going back and referencing history and looking at the paper, then I would say, yeah, he beat him. But that's why they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Well, kind of numbers could be misleading, because yes, he got a win, he got a loss, and you can see the round count, you know, 10-9, 10-9 for Fedora. But even though it might say it that he got cut, you don't even appreciate the significance of the cut unless you watch that fight. You know, that was probably one of the most the most bloodiest fight I've seen. And it wasn't even bloody because there was no, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it's not even bloody for the right reasons, right? Because if the right reason for it to be bloody is that both guys are exchanging punches and, you know, hurting each other. But this was bloody because one guy had a hellacious deep cut due to an unintentional elbow, you know. And that not only severely impaired his vision, but it also, you know, all that excessive blood loss, you know what that means. It means that he was losing energy too. So it was really amazing that he was able to finish the fight. You know, he probably lost a liter of blood. 2 liters of blood, excuse me. So I'm gonna be honest, I understand the draw, but I feel like Ortiz won in my opinion. Boachuk was piecing him up. I feel like he lost more rounds than you. Yeah, I agree. That's why I think that Vergil Ortiz, I could see how he won, because I definitely think Vergil Ortiz won more rounds. I think Boachuk, you know, he just had the 2 knockdowns, but 2 knockdowns in separate rounds is big. And I thought Boachuk won some rounds as well. Now we got to give these dudes a sobriety test upon entering the Discord. Yeah, facts. But I don't mind you being goofy, like I said. I don't mind, because I really thought the Rello guy was funny, you know. So I got to, you know, I'll let people join and troll if they want. I don't mind, but yeah, I can't let that's the second time I did that. That's my fault. I blame myself. Because I like Kendrick was saying, you know, it's not even about which the angle that Kendrick was saying was that, like, you know, I can interrupt people if I want to, but I don't want to. But I want people to have a conscience and be able to engage in dialogue without being you know what I'm saying, without an overseer, you know what I'm saying, without being moderated. I don't feel like I should have to do that. I feel like that's just part of being a responsible adult, a considerate adult. You know, like you let people, you talk, say your piece, let somebody else say their piece. You don't dictate or have some tyrannical reign over the mic. Like, that's just common sense. So, and that's my fault for letting it happen. And I let it happen repeatedly just because I'm being too nice, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just won't let that happen anymore. And now we just gotta, and to help me to not feel like I'm being rude or mean, I'm just gonna implement a timer. And this is what I did, you know. God is good, because I have foresight, you know, and I made this. That's what I made this for. So 30-second timer.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
This is not a test, it's the real deal. Help me. Help me. Nigga. Help me.
So if people just be talking, we'll fire this up.
Back it up. That
shit up, B.
Wrap that shit up, B. Wrap it up. Yeah, so once that timer goes on, you know it's time for you to get up out of there. I want to give like 3 minutes, but I even think 3 minutes is too long, so we're going to play it by ear. We got to get these, yeah, but yeah, I think that with, like you said, Ty, just off the principle of him being undisputed, I go with Jermell Charlo. But second, I got to, but I'm like I said, I'm excluding him because he's inactive. So I'm counting him as inactive, but upon his return, he goes to number one. Got to respect the champion. And I have Terence Crawford number 2 because you got to respect the champion, even though he was in another division. His entrance into the division, his debut into the new division, a higher division, was against a champion, an undefeated champion at that he beat. So and I do think that Israel Madrimov was a top guy. I think he beats Fedor, and I think he beats Bakram Murtazali of the other 2 champions, 154. So yeah, I give Terence Crawford the nod right now. A Booger Sugar, a hell of a facts.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I think that, like I said, I think Tim Tszyu is the biggest roadblock. Like we had Virgil Ortiz. Speaking of Virgil Ortiz and Serhiy Bulachuk, even though he won, and they're saying that they want, by them I'm saying Turkey Al-Sheikh, Big Turk, and Oscar De La Hoya. They're saying that he wants Terence Crawford next to Virgil Ortiz and Shakur versus Zepeda. I just feel like that's not gonna happen. I know that Turk wants it. I'm not convinced that Oscar wants it. I know the Shakur and Zepeda one is getting close because, like I said, Big Turk claims that he had an agreement with Shakur, Eddie Hearn, and Oscar. But I just find that hard to believe because we all know Zepeda and Virgil Ortiz are Golden Boys, golden ticket, if you will. Those are his 2 best fighters. I highly doubt that Oscar De La Hoya is gonna sacrifice them on the same night to Shakur and Terence Crawford. I just don't see that happening. Like I said, I mean, verbal agreement's one thing, but I don't think Oscar's going. I don't think he's going for that. Like I believe it when I see it. I hope that Shakur and Zepeda, I think Shakur and Zepeda have a better chance of happening than Terence Crawford and Virgil Ortiz right now. But I think one of them happens, but both of them, nah. So then Oscar could potentially lose not 1 star, but 2 stars. I don't think that happens, bro. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I like to see it. I would also like to see a rematch with Serhiy Bulachuk and Virgil Ortiz. However, with that, I'm not really pressing for that because that was a hell of a fight, man. And when you have a fight like that, that's a very dangerous fight to me to engage in immediately after, back to back, you know what I'm saying, consecutively, immediately after having a fight of the year candidate, then you go and fight the guy again. It could end quickly. Like, remember, we had that great fight between Paul Williams and Sergio Martinez, and they fought again, and Sergio Martinez caught Paul Williams. Paul punched Williams with a nice punch and knocked him out, I believe, like in the 2nd round. Got him out of there. It could be something like that because they're both big hitters, but that I think that having a fight like that with that intensity, taking that much damage, having that much damage sustained, I think that's, of course for the consumer is great, but I think that for the fighter standpoint, I think that would significantly lower their lifespan in the sport. So as much as I would like that rematch, I don't think it should happen immediately, man. But hey, that'd be great though, because there's some warriors that do that, Have had those back-to-back intense, damaging rematches, man. So yeah, I would definitely be okay with it, but I think that would be ill-advised, especially if you're Virgil Ortiz, because the reason why I say especially if you're Virgil Ortiz, even though Virgil Ortiz won, it seemed like he sustained more damage. You know, and I'm not just saying because of knockdowns, but not just from the knockdowns, but also from, because if I'm not mistaken, that was his first time being knocked down, right, Ty? I think so. So I think those were his first times in his career being dropped. And so when that happens, you know, you got to gather yourself and go back and look at some things. Like, you know, I think that he could work on clinching, work on fighting his impulse to go right back to the fight when you get dropped. Because you see, like, every time he got dropped, he denied it. Like, he was like, no, I didn't get dropped. It's like, bro, you clearly got dropped. So, but I think that was just his instinct. Like, you know, he's kind of embarrassed. You know, he's embarrassed that he got dropped. He's like, oh, no, bro, that wasn't no drop, you know. And he just hops back in the fight. And yes, that worked against Serhiy Boachuk, but if you get hurt or dropped by somebody else like Terence Crawford or a TSZYU and you just rush at him again, you're probably going to get put to sleep and, you know what I'm saying, be over with. So I think he has to learn how to have some self-control and some restraint and take some more time off the count. You know, maybe get up at like 6 or 7, or, you know, because sometimes you get up at 8, that ref can say 9, 10, and he'll really get you. So get up around like 6 or 7 and just gather yourself, you know, and then try to be more reserved. Because I feel like if you would have did that after the first knockdown, he might not have got knocked down again. But he could have, though. You never know. But I thought it was a great fight, though. My boy James Daly in the building. Good to see you, brethren. He said Crawford is the best at 154. If in doubt, check Ring Magazine. I feel that. I'm not mad at that. I just think that, yeah, me personally, I give Crawford the nod. But like I said, if Jermell Charlo comes out of his inactivity, I got to give him the nod just off of respect for him being undisputed. And then TSZYU, I think TSZYU is the biggest threat to Terence Crawford, even though I think Terence Crawford could beat him. I think that TSZYU, outside of that circumstantial loss, you know, with the cut that he sustained, I think that one could easily consider TSZYU the best, even despite the loss. Because if we're being honest, you know, Fundora got the title. Not only was it controversial, not the decision, he definitely won. I'm saying controversial due to the circumstances, you know, with TSZYU being severely handicapped. But also, Sebastian Fundora got knocked out the night before, the fight before against Brian Mendoza, you know, who Boachuk and TSZYU beat thoroughly, especially Boachuk. So I think we could consider TSZYU still as a top guy. But yeah, I would say Terence Crawford is right now. But it's not gonna be easy, man. Yes, and it showed he didn't like it. Yeah, facts, exactly. I think Virgil should fight. Brian Castano. Yeah, we can't forget about Brian Castano. I would like to see that fight. Does it happen next? I don't know. Who is Brian Castano with? Do you know? I don't know who he signed with. I mean, I can assume who he signed with, but I don't know who he signed with. I'm gonna be honest too, man, because I remember. Did he lose again? He only has one loss, right, to Jermell Charlo. I remember they fought twice. But did he lose again? But I don't know if you're Vergil Ortiz. I don't know if you fight Brian Castano. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like he's an unnecessary risk. But that would be a great fight. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that he might be an unnecessary risk right now, especially if his last fights were losses to Jermell Charlo, or a loss to Jermell Charlo. I know they had the draw the first time. But I wouldn't be mad. Jesus Ramos and Xander Zayas. Bro, I saw somebody say Xander Zayas is better than... Was that in my stream yesterday? Sometimes I be getting stuff confused. Like, I'll be mixing things up. Was that in my stream yesterday when someone said that Xander Zayas is better than Vergil Ortiz? I'm not saying he doesn't have the potential to be. But, yeah, I think that's a reach. But my boy... Castano might be retired. He might be retired. Okay, B-Dog. B-Dog in the building. Appreciate you, brethren. He was with PBC via Tom Brown, but I don't know if he's still signed. Okay. Jesus Ramos and Xander Zayas. Yeah, no, that'd be good. Some good fights, Daily. That'd be a good fight. Jesus Ramos and because Jesus Ramos is young. I think Jesus Ramos and Vergil Ortiz is a good fight. I think Brian Castano is a good fight and Vergil Ortiz. I think Xander Zayas and Vergil Ortiz is a good fight. I just think Xander Zayas, I don't think you put him in there with the Ortiz yet. I think it's a little bit too early. I think I'm okay with Xander Zayas and Bruce Shushu Carrington getting some more fights before they step up that significantly. But yeah, Ramos is a young bull too. I think he's only like 22, 23, so that'd be a good fight as well. There's some good fights, man. There's some good fights out there. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know who Xander Zayas is fighting, because he's fighting in New York on the 27th, I believe. Don't quote me on the date. I believe September 27th. He's fighting, because he'll be fighting on the card with Michaela Mayer and Sandy Ryan. I believe they're headlining too, and then Bruce Shushu Carrington's fighting somebody as well. So that'd be a pretty good card, man. I don't know if they'll switch it up, but the way they pitched it with the promo card, they had Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer saying the Queens in New York. So I'm assuming that they're the headline. I think that'd be dope if they are the headline. I know some people won't like that, but I think it's dope. And it's featuring Xander Zayas versus, I can't remember who he's fighting, and then Bruce Shushu Carrington's also on the card. So I'm looking forward to that card. I believe it's on 27th of September. He said he's fighting the local Uber driver? Bro, come on, man.
Here you go. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful.
Come on, bro. Chill out, bro. Not trying to knock anyone, but that was one of our Puerto Rican brethren. That hot take was, okay, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then you have the audacity to accuse other people of being ethnically biased or culturally biased or racially biased or nationally biased. Like, come on, bro. I mean, that makes sense. Like, there's nothing to suggest that Xander Zayas is better than Vergil Ortiz. Am I wrong? I mean, now there's nothing wrong with giving predictions. Like, yeah, you could see somebody be like, okay, yeah, this talent is probably better. Like Abdullah Mason, I could be like, yeah, Abdullah Mason will probably be better than Keyshawn Davis, or probably be better than Shakur, or probably be better than Gervonta, or probably be better than Devin Haney. But there's nothing to go off of to say, oh yeah, Abdullah Mason is better than Tank. There's nothing to go off of. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, people don't really think, there's nothing to substantiate that claim. Like, we could say, like, projected. So if you say, like, yeah, I think Xander Zayas is probably going to be better than Vergil Ortiz. Okay. But I mean, who was his best win? Xander Zayas, probably Patrick Teixeira, right? Which is a good win. And Patrick Teixeira is a good, tough guy. But don't you think Vergil Ortiz beats Patrick Teixeira too? Don't you think everybody, Israel Madrimov, Terence Crawford, Tim Tszyu, everybody, essentially the big dogs 154 beat Patrick Teixeira too? You don't feel like that? I mean, no, I do. I know the triangle theory is not always right in boxing, but I'm just saying, you got to go off of something. You got to use some type of reference, right? Ooh, Erickson Lubin and Keith Thurman versus Jamel. I like how you put that, James Daly, because they would have to fight him at the same time to beat him. I don't know if that was intentional, James, but I like how you put that, because they would definitely have to fight him at the same time. Because if they fight him one-on-one, it's going to be a wrap. But if they fight him simultaneously, they might have a chance. Might have to be a handicap match. So I like Erickson Lubin. No disrespect to Erickson Lubin, he's a beast. As you know, Keith, one-time Thurman, his fellow Floridian, big champion. You know what I'm saying? I got to show him some love, but I'm not convinced until I see him at 154. I'm not convinced. He's a former champion at 147. Definitely good, but one time ain't look like one time for a long time. You know what I'm talking about? Because and going into the fight with Keith Thurman, I don't know if you remember, James, but I had Tim Tszyu beating Keith Thurman. So there's no disrespect to Keith Thurman. I think Tim Tszyu's a very good fighter. I thought Keith Thurman has a chance, but I lean towards Tim Tszyu. And in Tim Tszyu and Jermell Charlo, that's a very good fight. I don't know who wins that one. I'll lean towards Jermell. However, I definitely think Jermell and Tim Tszyu are levels above Thurman and Lubin. And I have nothing to go off of in regards to Thurman, because he's coming from 147. I haven't seen him at 154. I'm just going off of his past fights at 154. And, I don't know. That's a good fight. Those are good fights, though. But I would have Thurman and Jermell over Lubin and Thurman. And because Lubin, we saw him get beat up by Fundora. And that's okay. It's not a bad loss. But, yeah, I just don't see Erickson Lubin beating Tim Tszyu. And remember, Tim Tszyu and Erickson Lubin were trying to get a fight, right? Close to finalizing the deal, but Erickson Lubin, I say finalizing, not no knock on Tim Tszyu or Erickson Lubin. I'm just saying, in boxing, everybody's close to fighting. Everybody's finalizing the deal. So until you see it finalized, and everybody's in negotiations. But I think that with Erickson Lubin, some people are speculating that he just didn't want to fight TSZYU. I don't think that's the case. I think he probably did have something wrong. But I mean, who knows? I don't know for sure. But I usually give the fighters the benefit of the doubt when they say they're injured. Like some people said that Subaru Matias was ducking Teofimo when he pulled out. He wasn't really injured. I believe that he was injured. That he injured his hand. I believe him. I believe the fighters. I give them the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. Same people said that. Some people also said Trevor McCumbee wasn't really injured. They just did that to postpone the fight in order to beef up the Canelo card, which might be true. That could be true. But until I see like definitive evidence, I'm gonna just go with him being injured. I mean, number one, I don't really care that much, to be honest. And number two, I'm not really one to conspire. I'm not really big on conspiracy theories, man. I ain't got time for that. It could be true though, definitely. But I ain't got time to try to prove that, because I'm a type of person that where I like to have supporting evidence or have some facts. I don't just say stuff and just believe it because I'm emotional. So in order to draw a conspiracy, it's easier for people to draw a conspiracy who don't demonstrate any due diligence or any they lack the ability to be thorough. So it's easy for people to conspire when they just say, oh yeah, man, this is this. And they don't do any research to back it up. They just make a claim. Anybody can make a claim. Yeah, he probably has greater hype. I agree. I mean, New York, you know what I'm saying? New York, he Puerto Rican with top rank. Yeah, he's going to have bigger hype. But hype doesn't always translate to being better. Now, I'm not saying he's not better. I'm just saying for me to lean towards him being like, that's the thing. Even you said at this point of his career, yeah, if someone says that they think he's going to be better than Virgil Ortiz, I can't knock that. But when you say he's better, how is he better right now? I don't know if that's true. But yeah, if you say somebody's projected, I don't mind. That's like if someone says that they think Boots will be better than Terence Crawford. I'm not mad at that. But when people say that he is better, I'm like, how do you come to that conclusion? But if someone said, oh yeah, I think Boots will be better than Bud, I think Junto Nakatani will be better than Naya anyway. That's what I say. But to say that he is better right now, I think that's kind of, I don't know. I do think Junto Nakatani beats Naya anyway. But I can't. But if you ask me who I think is better at this moment, I got to lean toward Naya. I think it'll be a good fight. And same with Bud and Boots, you know what I'm saying? Lubin couldn't get clear. Yeah, Lubin gets slept, and Keith getting his speech impediment fixed because of how hard you. Yeah, it was his left hand. Yep, or left wrist. Yep, for Matias. Lubin couldn't get clear. Right, but everybody, like I said, I'm not knocking people for that because sometimes things like that they definitely happen, right? Where people will fake stuff and. There is room to birth conspiracy theories, but sometimes people just say stuff just to because they conjured up something in their head and they didn't do their due diligence to even see if it's even could be validated, much less if it is validated. I was also looking at this little interview from TSZYU. I didn't finish the whole thing. I just saw a clip, and he was saying that in the clip, I didn't go back and watch the full interview again. It was just they have the full interview, then they have the little clips. I watched one of the clips and it was talking about his issues with Turkey Al-Sheikh. He said he doesn't know. He said he doesn't really know what it is. So he said that hopefully his team could get in contact with him and they could fix it. So that's a good sign. It seems like it's just a miscommunication as far as TSZYU knows or as much as he's willing to disclose. So if that's good, then if that's actually the case, then that's good. But like I said, once again, I just don't like how it seems. It seems like Big Turk is like a bully, bro. Yo, it's like he a bully, bro. That joke funny. It's funny, but I don't know if it's good. You know, I don't know if it bodes well. Even from a trust factor, you know what I'm saying? So while I do think it's funny and I like it because I can make videos about it and stuff, I do think it's like a little bit troublesome, man. I was happy to hear that. So if it is just like a miscommunication, I'd be wondering, like, sometimes if you could just be a fly on the wall and hear some of these conversations, bro. I think that'd be crazy. Because what is there to, what the heck kind of miscommunication could it have been for Big Turk to say I ain't working with Tim? Like, he's gonna say I'm not working with y'all. Nah, bro, I'm not working with TSZYU. He said he doesn't understand. What? Lock in. So, outside of Virgil Ortiz and Boachuk rematch, I'm trying to think, who would I want to see Virgil Ortiz fight? I know you said Brian Castano. I think that's a good fight. I think B-Dog said that he's undefeated, right? I mean, retired. So if that's true that he's retired, then I mean, I guess that even shortens up the possibilities, you know, because then you just have, he really has to fight either Terence Crawford, you know, Bakram and TSZYU are fighting, Bakram Murtazaliev and TSZYU are fighting, Fundora and Spence are fighting, you know, I put quotations. So really just what, Terence Crawford, a Boachuk rematch. I mean, now there's people, because he could fight Brian Mendoza if Brian Mendoza wants that fight. That'd be a mean fight to get into coming off that Sergey Boachuk loss. You could fight, like you said, Jesus Ramos. Now there's some fighters there. Oh, Charles Conwell, the guy on the same card that called him out, right? Charles Conwell. No, so there's some options. There's some options, man. Yeah, I'm tripping. That's a problem. That's a problem he got with Canelo and Tank too. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So with Big Turk, you know, of course, I like him. He's good for boxing from a consumer standpoint because he seems to want to fight the majority of the fights that the fans also want. But when you consider the fact that he's beefing like he's Oscar De La Hoya with some of the fighters, including Canelo, including potentially Tank. I think him and Tank was more just like a cheeky back and forth. And then, you know, him and TSZYU, you know, that doesn't look good. And then I even heard that he had a little, you know, shaking of the feathers with Nadia Inoue too. I heard that. So, and it's like, bro, you can't. And two of the people I just named, well, one is considered the next face of boxing, you know what I'm saying, or at least the face of boxing in America, and Gervonta Tank Davis. Then you got one who's actually the face of boxing in Saul Canelo Alvarez. And then you have another one who's a face of boxing in Japan, and Nadia Inoue. So, and then TSZYU's a face of boxing in Australia. So, bro, like, what we all the boxing at Riyadh is going to be English and American fighters, I guess. Well, certain fighters, I guess, some American fighters. If you from Omaha, that just doesn't bode well. But like I said, I think he's doing a pretty good job. You know, I'm seeing some fights that I love, and yeah, I just hope that they get it right, which is business, right? As long as, you know, money talks. So, I mean, look, we just saw Canelo and Munguia work together after, you know, Canelo and it is well documented that Canelo and Oscar don't like each other. So they put that aside for the little money, even though they were still talking trash during the build-up. But they work together with you know, PBC and Golden Boy. And now we have a phenomenal PBC card coming up again. Shout out to Canelo, shouting out Al Heyman and PBC. You know, that card is crazy, man. What fight are y'all looking forward to the most? I know some people they're not really feeling the Canelo versus Berlanga fight, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually excited to see what Berlanga could do, which I don't think he'll be able to do much, but I'm excited to see it. Of course, then, like I said, I'm looking for Caleb Sweet Hands Plants, one of my favorite fighters. Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, so looking forward to see him bounce back against an undefeated fighter, a big puncher in Trevor McCumbee, even though he doesn't really have the caliber of opponents, you know, to justify the threat level, his threat level, but I think he should have a pretty substantial threat level because of the circumstances surrounding it, you know. Caleb Plant has been on sabbatical. We haven't seen him in over a year, and then last time we saw him, he lost. to David Benavidez. So he's coming off of a loss and a long layoff. So I think this is a pretty decent fight. I think people are underestimating it just because of circumstances. Now, if Caleb Plant was warmed up, he'll definitely be the favorite, but he's not warmed up. He's considered cold, right? He's been out. So we have him returning. Then we have Danny Garcia returning against Erislandy Lara in a title fight. That's at a catch weight of 157, but it's a 160-pound title fight, which I don't like. I don't like that at all. But it is what it is. And then who else we have? Rollies. We have Rolly Romero coming against Jaime's. My boy Ty said everyone he has a problem with are names that have their own team and don't need eggs. Talk to him, Ty. That is a commonality. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. He said Bud is bigger than Tank. That we all know by now. I don't even know why you just said that, bro. Some of y'all are weird, bro. Y'all be obsessed with the wrong thing. This man just came in here and said Bud is bigger than Tank. Who was talking about Bud or Tank? Some of y'all be too emotional about these fighters, bro. Yo, some of y'all be too emotional about these fighters, bro. The man came in here to ride Tank's nutsack. No one's even talking about comparing Bud and Tank. What are you talking about, bro? Some of y'all got to get some of these dudes off your mind, man. Keep them on your mind if that's what you like. Maybe you like him. Here, I got something for you if you like him. Here you go.
Hey, yeah. Oh, that's good. Hold on.
Oh, man. These people are weird, man. Man came in here to talk about the trash PBC card.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Oh, man, that's funny. Anyway, Bud has more legacy than Tank, but Tank is a more marketable fighter. Yeah, facts. I personally believe, like I said, I like Tank. I like Cinnamon, but I like Naya in a way. I like Alexander Usyk. I like Tim Tszyu. But I could argue that Terence Crawford should be the biggest fighter out of all of them. If you want to be real, I could argue that Terence Crawford should be the biggest fighter out of all of them as far as what he as far as what he's accomplished. Not only that, but also how he did it. And yeah, so I just think that Terence Crawford is severely underappreciated. So you could argue that he should be at least the face of boxing of America, but it is what it is. But has more legacy than Tank, but Tank is a more marketable fighter. Hey, he said no cupcake. He said no fruitcake. Like Tank can be the face of boxing. You know what I realized? You always call him. You always say something about his sexuality, right? So what does that say about the person that always has the fruitcake on his mind? Seem like you like a little fruitcake, you know what I'm talking about? Seems like you might like the fruitcake. Yeah. Seems like you might like the fruitcake.
I'm gay. I'm not sending no gay goon. With me, I'm sending some real niggas. Ain't now one of them gay.
My stomach, bro. Hey, man, you funny, DG. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I definitely think that I definitely think 154-pound division is interesting. You know what I want? You know what division I want to turn up again? I want the 168-pound division to turn up again. I just we have 168-pound division fighters fighting, right? We have two fighting this weekend. We have Christian and Billy versus Sergey Derevyanchenko in Canada, and then we have Osleys Iglesias fighting Egbeko, which I believe Iglesias will win that fight, and I believe Christian and Billy will win that fight. And Abdullah Mason's also on the card, so 168 we'll start turning up again. Then Munguia is fighting Eric Bazinian. That's going to be a good fight. I think Munguia wins that. And then, like we said, we have Caleb Plant returning. If Jamal, but if Jamal Charlo returns, that'd be a good little boost for it. I like that division, man. I'm interested to see what Canelo does after Berlanga, whether he wins or loses. I want to see what he does. I think if he wins, which I think he will win, I don't know what he do. I don't think he goes for undisputed again, right? because he got stripped of the IBF, and William Skull will be fighting whoever he's fighting for that championship. I don't think he goes for undisputed again, but he could. I wonder if he tries to go to 175. I wonder if he actually tries to go and fight Benavidez. Because, I mean, at 168, unless Jamal Charlo comes back, he kind of already, you know, considering that David Benavidez is at 175 now, he kind of already beat everybody. We just didn't beat the one guy that we wanted him to fight was Benavidez. But, you know, he beat Caleb Plant already. I mean, I'd watch a rematch, but I don't think it's necessary. He's the only person to stop Caleb Plant. He's about to, if he September 14th, I think he's gonna beat the heck out of Berlanga, but he hasn't done so yet. But I think he's gonna beat Berlanga. He already beat Jaime Munguia. So with those three, it's like, does anybody else really have a chance? Does anybody think that Pacheco could beat him? Does anybody think Christian and Billy could beat him? I mean, maybe Christian and Billy just because of that would be interesting stylistically because he's such a high volume puncher. But you could argue that Christian and Billy and Jaime Munguia are very similar in their fighting styles. So you could argue that he'll probably beat him too. But still has to do it, you know, so that's different. But yeah, unless Jamal Charlo, I would be interested in seeing Jamal Charlo and Canelo. I definitely want to see Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant from their history. But yeah, man, I just don't think that 168, you're going to see how it goes, man. It needs to be revamped. This is just a theory, but based on Bud's history, I feel like Bud was actually backed by a network. He probably wouldn't deal with Turkey either. No, yeah, facts. Yeah, I could see that too. You know, this is like kind of, but Turkey is his network essentially, right? So shout out to him, man. He's finally getting his just due. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting his credit that he deserves. You know, because there's no reason for a fighter of his caliber to not be the face of boxing wherever he's at. You feel me? But it's just that, I mean, it's kind of him, like you said. The marketability is an issue. You know, he's not really too dynamic. Doesn't really have too dynamic of a personality. It's not really that polarizing or captivating. It's not that interesting, you know. But you know, that's what people watch it for, you know. But I do think that he does have a personality. You just gotta pay attention, you know. I just don't think that he prioritizes, you know, probably just more conservative of a personality. He doesn't prioritize being in the spotlight like some fighters do. I don't really, but to be fair too, I don't think Errol Spence prioritized being in the spotlight. I just think that some people are just more charismatic, and I don't think he's too charismatic all the time. I think he is enough to be a star, but he's just not all the time. I think Tank is charismatic, you know, and then, like it just seems like Errol Spence. Like, just think about it. Who would you rather have a conversation with? Like, would you rather have a conversation with Terence Crawford, or would you rather have a conversation with Errol Spence? As far as like just who's more personable, right? And what about Tank? Would you rather have a conversation with Tank or Terence Crawford? Just from the interviews and stuff that you see, like, you know, so I think that's just a reflection of them having more of a personality. It's not knocking Bud. There's nothing wrong with having a reserved personality or being conservative as far as your personality goes. I actually value that, but yeah, so I think that kind of just goes with his marketability. But he's definitely a beast, though. And as far as his skills go, he should be the face of boxing wherever he's at, as far as for the country. My boy Leroy, what's good, Leroy? Tank fanboy. Asking him apart from Bud fans, he says that Tank and Canelo are the face of boxing. Yeah, facts. So, I mean, well, Canelo by himself, I don't think he really shares that with Tank. Canelo's a face of boxing, but I think the heir apparent is Gervonta Tank Davis to inherit that role, just like Canelo inherited it from Floyd. So I think that Canelo is number one, and then I'll say Tank is probably number 2 or 3. You know, you could consider Anthony Joshua in there too. So I don't know. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, DG, you don't know what you're talking about though. Charlo is in no condition. Yeah. I mean, you probably think Charlo was ducking too, right? You say he's in no condition. How do you know what condition he's in? Obviously, he's inactive, so obviously he's not in condition to fight. That's why he's inactive. I mean, you use your common sense. He's literally inactive, so of course he's not in a condition to fight. That's the whole point of him being inactive. Why do you think he's inactive? Because he's in condition to fight? No, he came out and said that he's going through something mentally, going through a mental health crisis. And you talking about he's in no condition to fight? No crap. You freaking Sherlock. That's why he's not fighting. Just because you're not in a condition to fight and you're not fighting, does that mean that you're bad? Last time he has fought, if you're talking about Jermell Charlo, he was fighting and he was undisputed. If you're talking about Jamal Charlo, he's still undefeated. So I don't know what you're talking about. But whatever you got in your mouth, man, make sure you swallow slow. Coming up, Errol was a more interesting guy, whether it was his style with clothes, the quotable statements he made. Yeah, facts. Exactly. He's more charismatic. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just think that, you know, I think when Jamal Charlo comes back, he should be right back in the fray, just like everybody else. You come back. Now, if he loses, he loses. That's life. But, you know, you're going to assume that somebody going to lose and they're undefeated. Talking about he does it. He's in no condition to be a top 168 pounder. He's in no condition to be a top 168 pounder. What the hell are you talking about? But yeah, so I just think that man, there's a lot of good fights that could potentially be on the horizon. I would actually, if Berlanga loses, I'm interested to see what he does. If he wins, then I don't think he goes for undisputed, but that would be interesting. I mean, because he could potentially get it, right? Because if Berlanga wins, he'll have 3 belts, right? WBA, BO, BC, and then he could potentially fight the winner, the IBF winner, right? So he could go for undisputed because I think he could win that fight. But if he loses, I don't know who he beats, you know. Why did you mention? Oh yeah, you're literally dumb. Did I mention him or did I say that he's inactive? Oh, okay. So you have selective hearing. Yeah, I don't know. I can't deal with you idiots, bro. This man said, why do you mention him in the competing at 168? Did I mention him in competing at 168? Or you're just a dumbass that thinks I mentioned him? Okay. Because you heard Jamal Charlo and went off the deep end. Because you, like I said, you're a meat swallower. You can't do 2 things at once. Take the meat out your mouth, and then maybe you can hear more effectively. I literally said that Jamal is inactive, so I'm not counting him at 168. I literally said that. But you literally a dumbass. So once again.
Shut up, bitch! Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. People think being dumb is trolling. You're not trolling when you're dumb. You're just dumb. Like you're not. When you troll, you should at least be clever with it. You're not trolling, bro. You're just dumb. And I have no problem calling a dummy dumb. Yeah, so as your mama draws. Tell her I said what up. I'll be coming by again. But on the other side was quite family oriented. Did not like media and often mistakenly labeled as arrogant. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's wrong, you know. And so everybody's not going to be as charismatic or as outgoing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's just bad in terms of marketability. But it's not like a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not a negative thing at all. It's just, hey man, some people are more personable than others, and that's okay. But everybody wants everybody to be the same, you know. But shout out to Bud though. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a water. I'm gonna run this ad real quick. I'm gonna go grab a water. Yo, it's your boy Doc again. I know you sitting there like, did this Doc just run his own commercial? Yes, I did. In the middle of the street, we run our own ads. That's what we do right here. So when you see other boxing channels implement the same idea, I don't mind people biting us, but dang, at least give us some credit. So those of you that are rocking with me, you're already a part of the best boxing channel on YouTube.
That's a fact, ain't it? Ain't it? All right, then.
You already caught up. Those that don't know, the rest of the world, they just got to catch up, baby. You know, and they eventually will, you know, because we bring y'all unfiltered, unbiased, raw, and educated and funny boxing takes, man, with accurate information. Can they all say the same? Of course they can. So let's get right to it, man. Why do you want to become a member of this channel? Because we already told you we're the best, but it does come along with perks, you know what I'm saying? First off, you can join at the Streets Gang prospect level. You know, it's only $2.99. I know times is rough right now, but you can still contribute, you know what I'm saying? And what do you get? You get member shout outs like this. Shout out to my boy Kendrick for being the first Street Gang prospect member, you know what I'm saying? And then we go to the next one, Streets Gang contender. That's the second tier of membership. I'm back. He said, you know, Dr. Boxing Talk, shoot, but he better chill before he get clipped on my coffee. I appreciate it, bro. Like, people are weird, man. You know, just let them be weird, dog. You know what? It just reflects. I'm gonna tell you like this. The crazy part about the internet is that you could be whoever you want. So when people go on the internet, like, I don't know you. I don't know that you probably a fat, sloppy body, goofy, broke, starving, malnutritioned, skinny bum. You know what I'm saying? I said everything because I don't know if you fat, skinny. I don't know if you tall, short. I don't know if you're male or female. But what I do know by the way that you operate and the way that you communicate, that you're a loser, bro. That's why you're mad on the internet. You can be whatever you want. You can be the happiest person on the internet. You can be the coolest person on the internet. You could be the nicest person, but you choose to be a dickhead because you have no choice. That's your life. You see what I'm saying? You're a loser, bro. So when you make it so obvious that you're a loser on the internet, I know that you're a loser in real life. You're always gonna be a loser. That's just your life, bro. That's your burden. And you try to make everybody feel what you feel. I can't feel what you feel. I'm not in your shoes. Your shoes couldn't fit me. I'm a man, baby. That little biatch. And that's what it is, y'all. You're just unhappy with yourself. You're gonna be that way. It's always gonna be that way. You're a loser, bro. That's your role in life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Some people are lions. Some people are little warthogs. Some people are little maggots. You're the latter. You're a maggot. You get stepped on by anything, whether it's a gazelle, a lion, a giraffe, an elephant. You just get stepped on, bro. You're a loser. That's life. That sucks. But hey, you could, like I said, you can always change it, bro. Go ahead and pray and work on yourself, and stop blaming people for your deficiencies. It's your fault. You told someone to swallow slow. You did say no did. I told him to swallow slow. Pause. No diddy. Hey yo.
What?
Yeah, man. Sorry, man. He started early today, but yeah, bro. No, I'm not starting, bro. I'm a little behind because I'm working. Nah, I appreciate you, Chloe. No diddy, yeah. No diddy, yeah. Did you pray? Yeah, I'm wilding. But yeah, man, people are just weird. You just gotta be happy, man. Like life is too short, man. Smile and be happy, bro. You being petty and being condescending towards other people is not gonna change your situation. You still gonna be a loser. You gonna go to sleep a loser. You gonna wake up a loser tomorrow if you're blessed to wake up. You know, and that's your life, bro. You chose to be that way. So anybody that comes in the chat hating on anybody or mad at anybody, it's not their fault that you're a loser, bro. It's your fault. It's not your parents' fault. You know what I'm saying? They're probably losers too, but you know, you could change your life. It's your fault, bro. Whatever you didn't accomplish is not anybody else's fault. That girl that didn't like you, it's not their fault, bro. It's your fault. Be more attractive. You know? I'm gonna be walking around mad because they mad at the dude that the girl that they likes, bro. He didn't take your girl. The girl just didn't take you. She don't like you, bro, or he don't like you. Whatever side of the fence you on, I don't know. Man, angry at the world, bro. American boxing fans are delusional if they think Ortiz beats an uncut zoo. I agree with that, but I don't know why you had to put American boxing fans, Peter. Why can't it just be boxing fans? I'm American, and I think TSZYU beats VERGIL Ortiz. Well, what does that got to do with being American? TSZYU's Australian. So are you saying that only American fans think that VERGIL Ortiz will beat him because VERGIL Ortiz is American? I don't think that's the case. I bet, clone. I'm gonna check it out. But Peter in the building. I don't know why. So if an English fan believes that VERGIL Ortiz beats TSZYU, is he not delusional because he's not American or she's not American? Y'all be focused. Y'all be so focused on nationality and cultural differences. It's crazy to me. Because most American fans always talk their fighters up. I don't know about that. I think most American fans that you listen to, maybe that's. I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe you're right. I don't know, but I mean, you gotta. So that's the thing. So when we talking, I'm not disrespecting you, Peter. I'm just speaking in honestly and openly. When you talk about most do this, where do you get your boxing? Where do you acquire your boxing news from? Where do you get your daily boxing intake from? Maybe you got to check your sources. It's kind of like when Keisha Cole, right? Keisha Cole, I rock with Keisha Cole. She's a good singer, but every song she's talking about the dude cheating on her. At a certain point, after the first dude, the second dude, the third dude, the fourth dude, maybe you have to look at yourself and be like, maybe I got to switch up where I'm getting these dudes from. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is a dude. Maybe all dudes do cheat. maybe all dudes cheat, but maybe it's the fact that something about you is attracted to dudes that cheat. So my point with you is that I'm American. I don't big up American fighters. I big up all fighters. American fighters, Nigerian fighters, Australian fighters, Jamaican fighters, English fighters, Japanese fighters. So maybe you gotta change where you're getting your news from. So maybe the source that you're getting your news from is American, is an American person who only bigs up American people. But I could tell you Mexican channels that only big up Mexican fighters. I could tell you English channels that only big up English fighters. I could tell you American channels that only big up American fighters. I could tell you white channels that only big up white fighters. Hispanic channels only big up Hispanic fighters. Black channels that only big up Hispanic fighters, or black channels that only big up black channels. I could tell you all that, but guess what I do? I stay away from them because I don't like biased sports takes. I like when people there's nothing wrong with being prideful in where you're from, you know, so you should be proud if you're American, Australian, English, whatever, but it shouldn't be annoyingly obvious that you're super biased. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with having a preference, but if you're preferential, if you're demonstrating preferential treatment based off something that doesn't transpire in the ring, based on someone's ethnicity or cultural identity or location or nationality, then I ain't got time for that. Remember when I'm saying Turkey doesn't want Crawford to fight Tszyu because Tszyu will bully him? I mean, I don't know about that. Anyway, I mean, that should. I mean, you could think that. Americans had Tio as a pound for pound top 5, and he lost to Kambosos. I mean, I don't know, bro. All right, he's definitely Australian. Yeah. I don't know about that. It's safe to say you're not American, so where are you from so we can understand you better? Yeah, I believe Peter's Australian. So it seems like you're projecting how you feel. So it seems like you like Australian fighters, and so you're pro Australian. So the same thing that you're accusing other people of doing, you're demonstrating that in your own takes and your own. So you're complaining that American fighters or American fans big up only American fighters, but you're in here as an Australian fan only bigging up Australian fighters. So you hate yourself, which is the case for a lot of people. You know, they hate when they see themselves in other people. That's the case for a lot of people, bro. So you're not alone in that, but you keep your head up, man. Don't let them overtalk you. Talk to him, clone. Talk to him, clone. Ty be getting on my nerves with that, man. I be wanting Ty to speak up sometimes. But then sometimes I understand he's being courteous too. So shout out to my boy Ty. But sometimes I was just waiting, bro. I was giving Ty all types of chances. But no, but with that being said, I agree with you that I personally believe TSZYU. I just said that, but you know, people have selective hearing. If you came at the beginning of the stream, Peter, you would have heard me. I said I think TSZYU is the best at 154. Did I not say that, Ty? If you go rewind the tape, it's there. We're recording. We're live. All you gotta do is record it. I mean, rewind it. I literally said I think TSZYU is the best at 154, meaning that he beats everybody at 154, except for if Jermell Charlo comes back. You know, if he comes back, then I got to give the nod to Jermell Charlo because he's undisputed. But I think that TSZYU is the biggest roadblock to Terence Crawford potentially getting undisputed. I think that people kind of forgot about him because he had a unfortunate cut that severely handicapped him in the fight against Fundora. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that because he's Australian. I don't care if he's Australian. I don't care if he was from Galapagos Islands. Why do you care? That's my question. I don't understand why people care so much. I could care less where he's from. He could be from China. He could be from Nigeria. He could be from Jamaica. He could be from Puerto Rico. I don't care. I recognize skills, not complexion. So I mean, some people, but a lot of people don't though. I mean, that's okay too. Big up Jamaica. Of course, I'm Jamaican, Nigerian, and American. So I love those fighters, but I love other fighters too. I don't feel like I have to look. Someone has to look like me to be great. Charlo ducked Tszyu 3 times. I mean, I don't care. I speak in a monotone, so my voice doesn't carry. That's why I don't even try to get loud. I feel you on that. No, I feel you on that. But you shouldn't have to. So I'm glad you don't, because you shouldn't have to get loud. We should be courteous of each other. So that's why I said I'm gonna change that. That won't ever happen again. So that's like I said, that's my fault. I should have muted him, and I forgot when I mute somebody, it doesn't mute for everybody. It just mutes for me. So next time I'll handle that better. Because I did mute him. I muted them a couple times, but I forgot it doesn't mute for y'all. Kendrick in the building. What's good, brethren? Yep. But Jermell would have cooked Zoo, and he still sent him to the gulag. Yeah, I would lean towards Jermell. And when people say that people duck, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, I do disagree with you that that Jermell Charlo ducked Tim Zoo, but I do think that they should have fought at the same time. You know, I do think that they should have fought, but I'm not gonna say he ducked him because I'm not one of those that thinks that if a fight that I want doesn't happen, that means that somebody ducked. No, there's a whole business aspect side of boxing. You know, now they're both with PBC, so I don't know why it didn't happen, but there's a lot of factors. But then again, I will admit too, I also don't say that Canelo ducked Benavidez. So some people will say I'm silly for that. But yeah, I just don't think that a lot of I think it takes a lot for me to say somebody's ducking. Like, I need proof, I need evidence. Like, for example, I think that Keith Thurman ducked Errol Spence. I think Danny Garcia ducked Terence Crawford. I think that I ain't gonna say Anthony Joshua because my boy Ty is kind of making me give him a little more leeway. But I used to say Anthony Joshua ducked Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. But you know, I think Lomachenko ducked Shakur. And I think Lomachenko obviously just ducked Tank. But I don't really say too many people are ducking without substantial evidence. So I don't really say that just because two people didn't fight, that means they're ducking. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of intangibles. You know, it's about your schedule, your timing, your coaches, your team, your availability, the financial agreement, you know what I'm saying, or cut. There's a lot of things, man, a lot of things. After Matias, Haney, and Cruz lost, nobody talked about 140 as much, hyped it up as much. I agree, Oscar. Oscar in the building. Well, Haney didn't lose, right? So look, Oscar, you my guy. But remember yesterday, Kendrick, how Edwin said that I always talk about Haney and Ryan Garcia, right? So when people know, it's because when people come in and say after Matias, Haney, and Cruz lost, Haney didn't lose, right? If you go to his record, it says that it's a no contest. But then he'll say, oh, I'm always hating on Ryan Garcia. Is that not the truth? If I go to Boxing Rec, is that not the truth? Does it not say no contest? So he said that's an opinion. No, that's a fact. A lot of times people confuse opinions with facts. There's a lot of things that aren't opinionated. It's just fact. It's factual. But the people who have the stupid ass opinions, they're the ones that think that everything's opinionated because they have no factual base or foundation to prove their opinions. There's a difference between opinions and fact. Everything is not an opinion. But some people make everything an opinion because they're just wrong and they don't want to acknowledge that they're wrong. Not you, Oscar. I'm referencing something else. Not you, Oscar. You know you my boy. You know you my bit. You know you my boy. I'm not talking about you. I'm just speaking on. That was just an example. There's a mole in Peace Circle. Turkey is going to ruin boxing. You think so? By blocking certain fighters out because they don't kiss it. I agree with that, Peter. I agree with that. But like I said, Turkey has been doing good. But I also made a video on that too. I think Turkey is having a misstep because if he wants people to trust him as an authoritative figure and eventually get everything under one league, I think it's a bad look for the person that's working as an executive to be constantly beefing or taking stuff so personal with the fighters. Like he's right now not on good terms with Canelo. He's right now not on good terms with Tim Tszyu. And and then potentially not on good terms with Gervonta Tank Davis. And I heard that he may not be on the best terms with Naya anyway. That's just not a good look, and then when he has like a thing, I think it's funny. Like I said, I think it's funny and it's great conversation. But if you look at it as from a business standpoint, I think that's bad for business. Like he put a there was a picture. I'm sure he didn't draw it, but it was a picture and it said Turki Al-Sheikh, the face of boxing, the new face of boxing. And it's like, bro, like you can't be competing with the fighter, bro. Like, why are you? I know you're beefing with Canelo. While I think it's funny, but you shouldn't be, as somebody that wants to put on fights and want people to trust you to make the best fights happen and improve the state of boxing. You can't be competing with the guy that's fighting as a face of boxing. Like, no, you can't be. That's not your position, bro. So while it is jokingly, it is serious that he's talking about excommunicating Canelo if he doesn't do business with him, and that's not a good look, in my opinion. So I do agree with what you said, Peter. Ryan puts bums in seats. Not really. That's not true. So tell me, did he put bums in seats when he fought Oscar Duarte? Was that a good turnout? Or did he only put bums in seats when he fought Gervonta Tank Davis and when he fought Devin Haney? Was there a big turnout when he fought Javier Fortuna? I don't think so. Was there a big turnout when he fought I just said his name. Oscar Duarte? I don't think so. Was there a big turnout when he fought Luke Wilson? I don't think so. So by what standards is he putting butts in seats? Or are you just listening to what people say and not doing your own research? The only time they say that he put butts in seats is when he fought who? Tank and Devin Haney. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? So yeah, he puts butts in seats when he's fighting other big fighters. If Tank and Devin Haney fought each other, they'd put butts in seats too. Right? Right. Last time I checked, Tank and Frank Martin put butts in seats. Yeah, thank you, Ty. Nope and hell no. Thank you. I said Luke Wilson. I meant to say Luke Campbell. Excuse me. I don't know who I said. I meant to say Luke Campbell. Tickets was $40. Right. Canelo makes millions for Mexican fans, and Tszyu makes millions fighting in Australia. I don't know, bro. I'm not going down that. Canelo definitely makes millions. He's a face of boxing, bro. You got the rest. I ain't got time. But yeah, I definitely agree with you though, Oscar. I think that 140 was. I'm not gonna say it was overhyped though, Oscar. I like it. I like the fact that it has a shakeup. You know, shout out to Jose. I love that. Even though you know me, Eastside People Cruz is one of my favorite fighters, Oscar. But I love that Rayo won because, like I said, it shakes up the division. And when people were calling him a fake Mexican because he wasn't raised in Mexico, I thought that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? He's where you're raised doesn't define who you are. It's what you are, what your parents are, what they instilled at you, the cultural experiences that you had. So I was from that standpoint, I felt like they disrespected Rayo, so I was kind of happy they won. But I like the shakeups, bro. I like that Leo Paro beat Matias. And I called that one actually. I like Liam Paro beat Matias. I like not because I hate on Matias or nothing like that. It's just I thought stylistically Liam Paro had the chance, and I like the fact that it gets shake. You know, so I like the fact that division gets shook up. So I like that. I like that Rayo beat Cruz, even though I like Cruz more. I like the fact that Teofimo, the fact that he's still a champion. Shout out to him. You know, he's the only one that stayed actually, and then Alberto Puello is a champion. So yeah, you're right. Devin Haney lost his belt, but he didn't lose. You know, when someone cheats, they don't get the L, right? I mean, Keyshawn Davis got his win overturned when he tested positive for marijuana. Marijuana's not even a PED, so that's just the rules of Texas. Tszyu fights in front of up to 25K. Ask Mendoza, ask Harrison. I'm not asking nobody, bro. I don't care. You worry about the numbers, bro. I could care less how much Tim Tszyu makes or who he fights in front of. As long as he fights in front of me, I'm happy. I'm not going to the stadium. I don't. You could count the people in the stands if you want to. That floats your boat, man. Hey, whatever floats your boat. I don't care. It's just when you make statements about like who you said somebody puts butts in seats and implying that others don't. A lot of fighters put butts in seats. So you know, it's just that people conveniently focus on some and don't focus on the others. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia is definitely a star. Gervonta Tank Davis is also a star. Devin Haney is also a star. Terence Crawford is also a star. Anthony Joshua is also a star. Tim Tszyu is also a star. Canelo Alvarez is not also a star, but he's not only also a star, he's the star. So I don't really understand what's the point of you saying who puts butts in seats. I don't even know why that even came up. But I mean, if that makes you happy, bro. The Australian government and Tim's promoter are actually the ones making the Miss Tim Tszyu makes on average. He in a bad deal. Makes the M's. Actually, the ones making the M's Tim Tszyu makes. Ooh, he's in a bad deal. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let other people worry about that. I don't care. I just care about what I see in the ring and what I see when I like watching all of Tim Tszyu's fights. Yeah. But I think that him and Terence Crawford's a great fight. I would like to see it. If Tim Tszyu beats Bakram, which I lean towards Bakram. I lean towards Tim Tszyu. If Tim Tszyu could beat Bakram Murtazali for the IBF title, I definitely think he will. But you never know, man. Bakram is pretty good too. I need to watch more of his fights. I only seen like 2 of his fights, to be honest. So I need to watch more and then come up with a better assessment. But I think Tim Tszyu beats him. From what I've seen of him so far and what I've seen of Tim Tszyu. I think Tim Tszyu is definitely one of the best, but it has nothing to do with where he's from. I could care less if he was from down under or if he was from up top. don't care if he was down under or up above. I don't care where he's from, bro. I just like fighters, man. I could care less. Yeah, I'm familiar with Nikita Tszyu. I don't know if he's going to be a star, though. We'll see. We shall see, brother. People thought Ricky Hatton's son was going to be a star. We saw what happened with that. So, yeah, I don't know if he's going to be a star. I feel like you think that everybody from Australia is going to be a star. And that's not. Hey, that's what you feel. That's what you feel. But I mean, I could tell you, Nigerian fighter that has what? Doesn't Nikita Tszyu have like 5 fights? I mean, no, I think he has like 8 fights. I mean, does that mean he's going to be a star? He has 8 fights or 9 fights, something like that. Jay Apatai is a fighter people don't talk about who was pound for pound top 10. Yeah, I'm done talking to you, Peter. I ain't gonna lie, you got it, bro. Like I just said, it seems like you think that every fighter from Australia is a star, and that's how you feel, bro. But that's your business. That's not how I feel over here. This man just said Nikita Tszyu is going to be a star because he has 9 fights. And his father is Costa Tszyu, his brother is Tim Tszyu. You're saying Jay Apatai needs to be on top 10? Why? Is he undisputed at cruiserweight? Who's at cruiserweight? Who has he beaten? He's undefeated, yes. But you know who else is undefeated? David Benavidez. And you know David Benavidez is not on pound for pound top 10. Who's better, David Benavidez or Jay Apatai? I think David Benavidez is better. Nikita is definitely one to watch, but he needs to move up properly and not sign with his brother. Yeah, true. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of what? What am I jealous of? I'm jealous that you're a fan of Australians. I guess I don't know. What am I jealous of? Peter. Sound like you got Australia's Peter in your mouth. And the nut. Hey, yo.
What do you mean by that?
Yo, people are dumb, bro. People are so dumb. Tim Tszyu is a beast. You're not a beast because you're from Australia. I'm sorry. That's not how you become a beast. Tim Tszyu is a beast because he's a good fighter. You know, Patai would beat the out of David. I mean, I would hope so. He's in the cruiserweight. Okay, so David Benavidez would beat the hell out of Junto Nakatani. What? They're different weight classes. So I would hope that the bigger guy would beat the smaller guy. That proved nothing. Jay Apatai would be that's what. So Jay Apatai should be on top 10 pound for pound because he would beat David Benavidez. Okay, that's how we decide pound for pounds. And then now your Inoue shouldn't be on the pound for pound because everybody on there would be him because he's the smallest. Some of y'all retarded. Jay Apatai is nice, but division doesn't make stars unless your name is Usyk. Exactly. Usyk is a beast. Usyk will go down to cruiserweight and beat the hell out of Jay Apatai. That makes sense because they're both the same division. You see how that works? You put guys in the same division against each other. Jay Apatai, he just recently he barely beat what's the dude's name? What's his name? Bradis? I can't remember his name. Marius Bradis. Jay Apatai is good though. He's definitely good. I like him, but he's definitely not pound for pound nothing. Usyk beat Bradis by split decision. Apatai beat Bradis 2 times. Yep. Your point? What's the point of saying that? Usyk beat Bradis by split decision. Yes, he did. Usyk also beat Anthony Joshua by split decision. He beat him. What are we doing? Apatai beat Bradis 2 times. Okay. Who's Bradis? Is Bradis a undisputed champion? Nope. Is Bradis a champion? Nope. Is Bradis on the pound for pound list? Nope. So if all those answers are no, what does Bradis have to do with Jay Apatai being on the pound for pound list?
Shut up, bitch!
Oh my God! Like you say that like Bradis is on. Is Bradis on the pound for pound list? So him beating him, what's it got to do with him being on the pound for pound list? I'll wait. Usyk wasn't on the pound for pound list for beating Bradis. Usyk's on the pound for pound list because he's a beast. Not because he beat Bradis. Marius Bradis, however you pronounce his name. Try again. Jake, am I tripping, Jake? Like what? Like what? This man said he beat Maris Bradis. Like who's on the pound for pound list because they beat Maris Bradis? Is anybody on the pound for pound list for beating Maris Bradis? Is Canelo on the pound for pound list because he beat Maris Bradis? Shout out to Maris Bradis though, he's a good fighter. But you made it seem like he won, and now that I looked it up too, you're actually wrong. He didn't beat him by split decision. Usyk beat him by majority decision. That's another thing that you're wrong with. But you know, a lot of times people that talk out the side of their neck, they're usually wrong. So he didn't beat him by split decision. He beat him by majority decision. So try again. Usyk beat better competition overall, undisputed cruiserweight. Jay out here making mixtape, exactly. And I'm like, bro, but it sounds like we're disrespecting Jay Opetaia. No, it's just that we're just not standing for you disrespected everybody else on behalf of Jay Opetaia. Jay Opetaia is good. Bradis was a champion. Once again, where was Bradis on the pound for pound list? You're a champion, so you're on the pound for pound list. So try again. Try again, Peter. Do your research. No, you don't. He said do your homework. You need to do something else. Whatever you doing, stop doing your homework. You need to do something else because this ain't working out for you. So every champion's on the pound for pound list. So once again, my question is, who beat Maris Bradis and became on the pound for pound list? What pound for pound list is Maris Bradis on? So your rebuttal is that he's a champion. So every champion's on the pound for pound list. Is Rafael Espinoza on pound for pound list? He's a champion at featherweight. Is Nick Ball on the pound for pound list? He's a champion at featherweight. Matter of fact, he beat Ray Ford. Ray Ford was a champion. Is Nick Ball on the pound for pound list? Oh, okay. No? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought every champion was on the pound for pound list. My bad. I thought that's what you were saying. Is Liam Paro on the pound for pound list? Oh, okay. When Liam Paro beat Subriel Matias, was Subriel Matias on the pound for pound list? Oh, okay. Do I need to keep going or you get the point? Stupid ass. Anyway, America actually has two. They're just in the wrong weight class. America doesn't have. Who cares if America has a fighter or not? This is not. No one's gluing America versus Australia. You're just a loser that thinks that somehow makes you feel better about yourself. Who's saying America? You came in here saying that America fans are crazy if they think Virgil Ortiz beats Tim Tszyu. No one was even talking about Virgil Ortiz beating Tim Tszyu. You came in here with your mouth open, with your knees bleeding and your mouth open, saying that American fans are stupid for thinking Virgil Ortiz beats Tim Tszyu. I said I'm American. I think Tim Tszyu beats Virgil Ortiz. So what's your point? So ever since then, you've been trying to make a World War III and 4 and 5 and 6 between Australia and America, bro. That's, like nobody cares about your opinion, bro. I'm just letting you get your opinion off so you could demonstrate your idiocy, and then we're gonna get you on your way. I've never seen Opetaia fight. You're right. I never seen him fight. Yeah. I just made everything up. When you said I've never seen Opetaia fight, I keep looking at my screen. So yeah, I'm watching Opetaia fight right now. Yeah, you're right. So you're saying that I'm watching Opetaia fight right now? I looked at my screen to see what Maris Bradis, how did he beat Maris Bradis for Alexander Usyk? That's how I said you're wrong, because you said Usyk won by split decision, and I didn't recall that. So I went back and looked, and I saw that you were wrong, like the idiot you are. You think I'm watching Jay Opetaia fights right now? I've never seen Opetaia fight. You're right, bro. I've actually never seen boxing at all. I've never seen boxing at all. You want me to tell you about his fights? I got you, bro. Hey, stay right there, Peter. I'll tell you about all his fights. Ah! There you go, bro. There you go. Yeah, there you go. I'll tell you about his fights. Yeah, I'll tell you about his fights in 30 minutes. Let me keep watching the tape so I can remember. Torres cooks Jay Opetaia. Go check the sparring, buddy. Put that blood in Jay's mouth and send him home, bro. The man's weird, bro. You're a loser, dog. I watch boxing, bro. I don't care if it's from Australia or America or Mexico. I don't care, bro. That's your business. You think because there's plenty of American champions, it doesn't make me any better. There's plenty of Australian champions that I like. It doesn't make me any worse. So I don't really share that complex of the majority of the idiots around the boxing community, like you. The man came in here mad at Americans because they do the same thing that he's doing on behalf of Australians. I like good fighters, bro. I could care less where they're from. But what I don't like are idiots like you that try to have a illegitimate, unnecessary race war or nationality war about boxing, bro. Just enjoy boxing, bro. Jay Opetaia is good. I'm not saying he's bad. Jay Opetaia is good. He's just not pound for pound like your stupid ass said. There's nothing pound for pound about Jay Opetaia. Sorry. Not in the cruiserweight division because your best win is Maris Bradis. I don't care if you beat him 15 times. Who do you think Jay Opetaia will fight on October 12th? Is he fighting October 12th? Let me see. I don't know who he's fighting. I didn't know he has a fight coming up, to be honest. So they're saying that he's going to be... Who's fighting October 12th? Is that Beterbiev and Bivol? So he's fighting on the Beterbiev and Bivol card, L-Dub? I would like to see him fight, but I'm going to be honest, man. I think Usyk... I don't know who he's fighting. I didn't even know he was fighting on the 12th. But I think Usyk beats Opetaia, but that's not a knock because I think Usyk is the best right now. I think Usyk is the best heavyweight, #1 pound for pound. Oh, I think he's #2 pound for pound right now. But I had him 1 pound for pound before until Terence Crawford beat Israel Madrimov in the junior middleweight division. By moving up in his debut, being a champion, I was undefeated. I had before that, I had Usyk #1, Inoue #2, and Terence Crawford #3. But since Terence Crawford got a new belt in a higher division on his debut against an undefeated champion, I have him supplanted #1, supplanted Usyk #1 for #1, and then having Usyk #2, and then now Inoue #3. But I think Usyk, if Usyk goes back to cruiserweight, which he says he's thinking about, if he goes back to cruiserweight, I think he slaughters Jay Opetaia. I don't care if Jay Opetaia is Asian, Caucasian, or Blasian. I don't give a damn what he is. I just go by boxing skills, and I think skill-wise, Usyk will dance circles around Jay Opetaia. It has nothing to do with him being black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or otherwise, or American, Australian, Jamaican, or whatever. So I don't think in those terms. I like boxing too much. So I go on matchups and skill-based matchups, whatever else you want to go through because y'all share the same neighborhood or you share the same skin complexion or you share the same boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever you're into. That has nothing to do with me picking a fighter. That if that works for you, that works for you. I think you're have the brain capacity of a maggot because you think too simple. So for you to try to engage in a conversation of wits, you're ill-equipped. Because just based off the foundation of your thought process, you're an idiot. And I don't mind calling an idiot when they act idiotic. But yeah, I don't know who he fights though, man. But I think Usyk beats him. I think if Beterbiev beats Bivol and wants to move up, I think he beats Jay Opetaia. I think Bivol beats Jay Opetaia. There's no top fighter between light heavyweight and heavyweight that I think Jay Opetaia beats. I think he's a champion because there's nobody at cruiserweight, which is why that dummy had to say he beat Maris Bradis twice. Who the freak is Maris Bradis? Like, I've seen Maris Bradis. I've seen him lose to Usyk. I've seen him lose to quite a few people. So who do you think he fights, L-Dub? Talk about tell you about. He said tell him about a Jay Opetaia fight. The hell you talking about? Tell you about a Jay Opetaia fight. I don't care about a Jay Opetaia fight. I'm not entertaining you. You try to convince me to like Jay Opetaia because you're infatuated with his nutsack. Jay Opetaia is a good fighter, but there's nothing special about Jay Opetaia. Jay Opetaia beats. He might be Gilberto Ramirez. That's true. He might be Gilberto Ramirez. That's a fact. He may be Gilberto Ramirez, and I like Gilberto Ramirez. I would lean towards Jay Opetaia in that fight. But I would definitely lean towards Jay Opetaia in that fight. So I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying, once again, I'm just saying he's not pound for pound. Not like, so who's top 10 pound for pound do y'all think? Like, let's bring up a list. Let's go to ESPN. So I'll tell you my top pound for pound when I see as we talking. I think #1 is Terence Crawford. #2 is Usyk. #3 is Inoue. #4 is Canelo. #5 is Gervonta. #6 is Bivol. #7. Who do I have at #7? I don't know. I probably have that's tough. Maybe number 7, David Benavidez. Number 8, Beterbiev. Number 9. No, sorry. No, number 7, I have Bam Rodriguez. Number 8, I have Beterbiev. Number 9. No. 7, I have Bam Rodriguez. 8, I have Benavidez. 9, I have Beterbiev. And 10, I probably have Devin Haney. Or Junto Nakatani. Or Shakur Stevenson. All those guys I have above Giapataya. That's just what it is. Do you keep a PED offenders in your list? I will if they prove that it was unintentional. Like, for example, like Canelo Alvarez, right? He got caught with clenbuterol, but if you look at the whole story, he got caught during the build-up, right? For having clenbuterol in the system during the training camp, which is why the fight was postponed. But a lot of people don't tell the whole story. They just tell the piece that benefits their narrative that they're trying to push. So Canelo has never tested positive for a PED for the night of the fight. Never. Neither did Alicia Bumgarner. But a lot of people like to make these comparisons with some other people who got caught cheating the night of the fight because they're unaware of the situation. They just hear cheating, so they think it's all the same. No, Canelo was never caught cheating the night of the fight. He was clean. He got caught cheating leading up to the fight, which is why the fight was postponed after he proved that it was unintentional in court. Same with Alicia Bumgarner, which is why neither one of their fights, the decisions for their fights were overturned and they kept their belts, because it was never a question if they cheated, if they were cheating the night of the fight or the night after or the night before. So that's a big difference. But yeah, I do. So it depends on how it is. I think that does matter. Like, for example, what's the name? Andy Ruiz and Jarrell Big Baby Miller, they cheated. Conor Benn cheated, but that doesn't mean that they can't redeem themselves. Hell, even Ryan Garcia can redeem himself, in my opinion. They can all redeem themselves. Like, but I think it is to consider. It's something to consider. Like, for example, like if Canelo or Tank got caught cheating the night of the fight, then I would not have him in my pound for pound list based off that fight because they cheated. You see what I'm saying? Talking about pound for pound, I don't think Inoue beating Doheny will move him up to from third place. I thought you were gonna say, whew, I'm glad I read the whole thing, Jay. I don't think Inoue beating Doheny will move him at all. I think that's a terrible fight. I think people just don't talk about it because I don't know if they're scared to talk about Inoue in a negative light or something, but that fight is trash. I would much rather Inoue versus MJ Akhmadaliev. Hell, Inoue versus Elijah Pierce. I know that's not Inoue's fault that he's not fighting Sam Goodman. That's Sam Goodman's fault. But I'd rather see that fight. TJ Doheny and Inoue is a terrible fight. People are mad about Canelo and Berlanga. Canelo and Berlanga is a better fight than Inoue and Doheny. Facts. All right, so we have Usyk number 1, Terence Crawford number 2. I'm not mad at this list. I think 1, 2, and 3 are interchangeable. Whatever order you have Usyk, Terence Crawford, and Inoue in is okay, in my opinion. Then you have 1 Usyk, 2 Crawford, 3 Inoue, 4 Bivol, 5 Canelo. I think that, in my opinion, I put Canelo over Bivol. People will say, oh, well, Bivol beat Canelo. Yeah, but Bivol beat a smaller guy. And Canelo is the best win for Bivol, even though he's a smaller guy. So with Canelo being... Give me a second, y'all. Let me check something. Had to get me some coffee, man. Let's go. All right, so I think that with Canelo being Bivol's best win and being a smaller guy, I don't think that puts him above Canelo. Does Dmitry Bivol beat him? Yes, of course. But some people's pound for pound list, you do what you want. Some people's pound for pound list is about who beats who. To me, that defeats the purpose of a pound for pound. We all know that a big guy is going to beat a little guy. So I don't think it's about your accolades. It's about how you perform against your opponents. It's about what you accomplish. You know what I'm saying? The streak of people that you fought, your activity. So for me, I don't think it's unreasonable to put Canelo above Bivol, and I think he belongs above Bivol. For me personally, Bivol has never been undisputed. Canelo has. But anyway, but so this is still a good list though. I just disagree. I put Canelo above Bivol. Better Biev, I put him a little lower. I put Bam Rodriguez over Better Biev. Better Biev's last win was Callum Smith, I believe. Yeah, Callum Smith right here. And he beat Marcus Brown, who were good wins. Anthony Yard, I think, was his best win. But there, no, Vazdik. I think Alexander Vazdik was his best win because Alexander Vazdik beat Adonis Superman Stevenson, Haitian-born Canadian, who was a champion, and that was his only loss was to Alexander Vazdik. And Artur Beterbiev beat Vazdik, even though Vazdik was beating him up until the time that Beterbiev stopped him, because of course all the Beterbiev's wins are by KO. I still think that Vazdik was his best win. But I have Bam Rodriguez above him. Gervonta, Shakur. I don't have Shakur on my list. I don't have Teofimo on my list. I take Shakur off and I take Teofimo off and put David Benavidez, and hell, I'll put Devin Haney up there still, or even Junto Nakatani. So my point is that here, who do you take off since that idiot said that Jay Apataya belongs on the pound for pound list? Who do you take off to put Jay Apataya? I would not put Jay Apataya over Teofimo Lopez. Wouldn't put him over Shakur. Wouldn't put him over Tank. Hell no. Wouldn't put him over Bam Rodriguez. Hell no. Wouldn't put him over Beterbiev, Canelo, Bivol, anyway, or Crawford or Usyk. Let's go down here. These are the honorable mentions. Junto Nakatani, I put in over Jay Apataya. Tyson Fury over Jay Apataya. Vasily Lomachenko over Jay Apataya. David Benavidez, like I said, over Jay Apataya. Devin Haney, like I said, over Jay Apataya. So not even the other people that received votes have Jay Apataya. Jay Apataya hasn't received a vote from anybody. But this guy was saying that Jay Apataya belongs on the pound for pound list. Over who? I'll wait. So it's just you and your feelings, because you're a prejudiced person. You think that Australia is everybody else, and that's fine if you think that. But don't try to make it like it's something else. You don't think about boxing. You don't approach boxers from an analytical, objective, fair standpoint. You approach it that you like Australian fighters because you're Australian and you think that they're the best. So really, you're the one that's prejudiced, even though that you have the audacity to accuse others of being prejudiced. You're the person that's prejudiced. This man came in here and said that Tim Tszyu, Jay Apataya, and Liam Powell are the best fighters on earth. Even though I think Tim Tszyu, I even say he came in here and thought that I said that Tim Tszyu wasn't good. I literally said today that I think Tim Tszyu is the best person at 154. And I think that he poses the biggest threat to Terence Crawford to get undisputed. But he didn't know I said that because I said that before he came in. He just came in here and assumed because I'm black that I guess I think like him. I don't think like you, bro. You don't project your racism on me. That's your stupid ass. Good fight for anyway, especially since he stayed at 122 for more years. I disagree. I don't think that's a good fight. I know TJ Doheny is on like a 3-fight win streak, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he's 4-3 in his last 7 fights, or 3-4. I don't know, L-Dub, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think is Inoue 3-4 in his last 7 fights, or 4-3. Either way, no, I don't think that's a good fight. TJ Doheny's not a good fight at all. I think it's funny that people will say that Tank versus Frank isn't a good fight. They'll say that they're so openly and willingly say that Gervonta versus Frank Martin is not a good fight. And they'll also say that Shakur versus Artem Hunter-Union is not a good fight. Or they'll say Canelo and Edgar Berlanga is not a good fight. Or Canelo and Munguia is not a good fight. But that you're telling me that Inoue and Doheny is a good fight? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. So if the people that were mad about Tank fighting Frank Martin, the people that are mad about Canelo fighting Edgar Berlanga, they should be irate that Naoya Inoue is fighting TJ Doheny. I mean, just be consistent. I just ask for consistency. The best fight for Naoya Inoue, which I'm okay with him fighting TJ. Don't get it twisted. I'm okay with him fighting TJ Doheny. I don't care who he fights. I'm gonna watch him anyway. I like Naoya Inoue. But if the other fights are bad, then this has to be bad. Baby, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. If you're mad about the other fights, then why aren't you mad about Jay Apataya? I mean, TJ Doheny. Let's see TJ Doheny. Let's look it up right now. In TJ Dohenny's defense, he is ranked number 2 at the WBO, so I'll give him that. Makhmadaliev is ranked number 1 for the WBA. But I hope that does happen though, L-Dub. I would like for him to fight Pierce. I think and all that said, I think Naia Inoue beats MJ Akhmadaliev. I think he beats Sam Goodman. I think he beats Elijah Pierce. I think he's gonna slaughter what's his name? TJ Doheny. I'm not mad at the fights, but you can't tell me that's a good fight if you also are of the belief that Canelo versus Berlanga is a bad fight. If you go by rankings, Berlanga's ranked number 1. So, but people will swear up and down that that's a bad fight, which I don't think is that great of a fight, but it's better than Naia versus TJ Doheny. That's all I'm saying. Just be consistent, man. It's kind of like when people were mad about Tank fighting Frank, but they were okay with Teofimo fighting Steve Claggett. Like, where's the consistency, bro? So you're not mad about the opponent. You just don't like the person. You just don't like the fighter that you're trying to disrespect. Just say that. Just say, I don't like this guy. So I don't like halfway crooks. I don't like when people try to hide their intentions. I don't mind you being a hater or being hateful. But if you are going to be that, then you feel me? I don't mind you being a hater, but if you're gonna be a hater, don't try to mask your hate as you being some type of boxing aficionado. No, you're just a hater. Whole time I have my tank top right here. No, but see, that's why I rock with you, because you're consistent. I can understand somebody saying that. You said, man, that TJ Doheny Lord, Steve Uncle Claggett, and Back Block Edgar Berlanga are all bad fights in my opinion. I'm cool with that. You said, I don't want to see it. I'm cool. I want to see him because I like Naia Inoue. I like Canelo. I don't really care for Steve Claggett. I mean, for Teofimo, but I don't mind fighters taking tune-ups and light days. I don't mind that. But being in the boxing space is very annoying when you constantly see people just come from a culturally biased standpoint, ethnically biased standpoint, racially biased standpoint, whatever you want to call it. It just gets overwhelming, bro. We were dealing with it yesterday, and then first dude comes in the stream today. He's on that same type of time as well. Like, that just gets annoying. You think like a Neanderthal. Oh, he no like me, so I think he bad. Him like me, so him good. he no like me. He no like me. His skin no look same, so he bad. Him look like me, so him good. Freaking Neanderthal, elementary ass, insect ass brainwaves you got going through your head. I see the Inoue versus Nakatani happening. I don't know if Junta will go up or Inoue will go down, but that's bro. I want Junta Nakatani versus him. My bad. I want Junta Nakatani versus Inoue so badly, Oscar. So badly, bro. I want Inoue to handle things first, right? I want Junta Nakatani to handle things in order, right? So I want him to unify against Takuma Inoue, who's his younger brother. I'm sure you know, Oscar. I want Junta Nakatani to unify or attempt to unify against Takuma Inoue at bantamweight 118, which I think he will. I think he will beat him. And then, like I said, I know I repeat this all the time, like set up an anime revenge arc type stuff where Naia Inoue wants to avenge the loss of his brother, kind of like Liu Kang versus Shang Tsung, where he's like, your brother's soul is mine. But I think that Junta Nakatani is going to beat Naia Inoue too. But if you ask me who's the better fighter right now, I'll lean towards Inoue because I think he's a more proven fighter. But Nakatani's a bad boy, man. Nakatani is definitely one of my favorite fighters right now. But Naia Inoue is a beast. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to Naia Inoue. Nakatani versus Inoue, man, that fight would be crazy. Nakatani has a fight to Kuma. Yeah, exactly, Jake. Exactly. Yep, you take the words right out of my mouth. Those opponent options are on par with Mistress Matchmaking. Or the equivalent of Jake Paul punches our 42-year-old Silva. Like I said, I'm not upset at people being upset about those fights, but just be consistent, man. You can't on one hand tell me, like the guy yesterday, you can't one hand tell me that Canelo fighting Jaime Munguia or fighting Edgar Berlanga is a bad fight, or Tank fighting Frank Martin's a bad fight, but then you tell me that Inoue fighting TJ Doheny is a good fight. You cannot do that, bro. At least try to fool me so I could kind of respect you. At least try to make it less obvious that you're severely biased. They can't hide it though. You can't hide ignorance. What if Nakatani beat Inoue first and whoop on his little brother? That'd be crazy. You think their dad fights next? They got to.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know Nakatani like that, but he may not want to with Inoue's dad because Inoue got a squad. Because I don't know if you know, Clone. I know you don't pay attention to the smaller weights, but it's not just Naoya Inoue's father that trains him, but Naoya Inoue also has a younger brother named Takuna Inoue, and then like you know that. But then they also have a cousin named Koki. Is it Koki or Kiko? I think it's Koki Inoue. So they got a squad, bro. So I don't know Nakatani's dad fights, but he gonna have a long day. He gonna have a long day trying to fight Inoue's dad. Cause Inoue got a squad, bro. He got two sons and he got a nephew. Koki Inoue is bigger though. I think he fights at, what weight class does Koki fight at? I want to say he fights at like 140 or something. Don't quote me though. Matter of fact, let me look it up right now. Bro, I'm too good, bro. I'm too good at boxing, bro. Yes, he fights at 140. I just looked it up. Come on, bro. So like that goes to show you, like that idiot that came here and said, "Oh, you don't know his fights. You don't watch boxing, bro." You probably don't even know who Koki Inoue is. I watch boxing too much, bro. I watch boxing too much. If you disagree with somebody, they say, "Oh, you're a casual," or "You don't know what you're talking about." No, when in fact is you don't know what you're talking about, because you like fighters because of where they were born. You don't really like boxing. You're like a Caitlin Clark fan. Caitlin Clark is great for women's basketball. Her fans are terrible for basketball. Not even women's basketball. Caitlin Clark is good for basketball, period. She's great for basketball. She's a beast. Her and Angel Reese. But even more so, Caitlin Clark. She's a beast. She is great for basketball. But her fans are terrible for basketball because you're not a fan of the sport. You're just a fan of her. So you'll say stupid stuff like, "Oh, she's the best person in the league." No, she's just the best person that you ever saw because you don't watch. There's no way that Caitlin Clark is better than Breonna Stewart. No way she's better than Asia Wilson. No way she's better than Chelsea Gray. No way she's better than Kelsey Plum. No way she's better than Kalia Copper. No way. No way. Not yet. Maybe she will be. She's on that trajectory to be, but she's not currently better than any of the women that were on the Olympic nationals team. And that's why they won gold and they've been undefeated. And they won 8 gold medals straight. We do the lower weights bad on the side. We should promote them as much as the other division. Most of the fights are, yeah, facts, Oscar. I agree with that. But I will say this too, Oscar. It's hard, right? Because, especially if you're American. Now, this is where I would agree. America does not value boxing like that. Like I said, it's probably like the 7th or 8th biggest sport. In the majority of other countries, what's the 2 biggest sports? Soccer and boxing, right? But in America, soccer and boxing are arguably the smallest sports. So, and especially if you're American, they like the heavyweights. It's not a coincidence that the heavyweights is the best division, quote unquote, most popular from a popularity standpoint. But so when you get to smaller divisions, a lot of times, like Inoue, so people, when they don't listen to me and they don't listen to the full thing I'm saying, I'm not saying everything I say is right, but usually what I say is logical. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense, even if I'm could be incorrect. I put some thought behind it. So when I say that Inoue should fight abroad, he should fight outside of Japan. I'm not saying that he needs to fight outside of Japan. He's a star. He's the face of boxing in Japan. You should know him. But like you just said, Oscar, we don't promote them and we don't know them as much as other divisions. Why? Not just because people, they don't really care about smaller divisions, number one, but also number two, when Inoue fights, he fights on a Tuesday at 4 o'clock in the morning. How do I know? Because I watch the fights. We're live. If you come to my stream, we'll be live on Tuesday at 4 o'clock in the morning. We got the club going up on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? We making a move that, you know what I'm talking about? So, but the majority of people on the Western Hemisphere, if you will, they're either sleeping or getting ready to work. So they're going to miss it. And if they do catch it, they're going to catch the highlights or catch the TikTok highlight, and it'll only be the knockout, because people like to watch knockout reels of their favorite fighter and then try to act and pretend like they really watched the fight or they really know what's going on. No, you just watched a 30-second TikTok or Instagram highlight reel or clip, and now you want to act like you're acclimated with what goes on in boxing. No, you just watch highlight clips of your favorite fighter. So if he fought in America, or in England, it doesn't have to be America. If he fought in Mexico, if he fought in Brazil, if he fought in America, if he fought in England, it'll open him up for exposure to a bigger audience. It's not about that he needs it because he's broke or he needs it because he needs to be respected. No, it's not a respect thing. Well, I mean, I guess you could kind of say it's a respect thing, but it's more of an awareness thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think in a way, like I said, I have him on my pound for pound list. I think he's one of the best. But for other people to become aware of him, it's just like anything else. They have, like, do you want to be a local star, or do you want to be a national star, or do you want to be an international star or a global star? That's why artists, we talk about music now, they tour to different countries. It's the same concept. So I don't get, even in basketball, look at the NFL. They don't even have NFL in overseas. Where do they go play? Sometimes they have games in England, right? They don't even have American football in England. Sometimes they have games in Canada. Sometimes they'll have games. They're talking about having games in Japan and beyond. So it's just for an exposure thing. It's not because they're not making money or they don't need it, but it's just exposure. It helps widen the brand's reach. So that's why even Canelo was talking about fighting in Japan. These are facts. Canelo has talked about having his next fight in Japan. You think Canelo needs to fight in Japan? It's not about a need. It's about what's best to gaining more fans and garnishing more viewership and generating more revenue. So I know Inoue fought 3 times in America before, but it doesn't have to be in America. Like I said, it's just to build your exposure. Like, I thought that was good of him to go to New York when Shushu had a fight against Brian DeGracia, right? And on the Xander Zayas card when Xander Zayas fought Patrick Teixeira. That was dope for Inoue to go to New York just to make an appearance. So even if people would be like, dang, who's that? Why is there so many people following him? Then you'd be like, okay, this is now Inoue. Oh man, he's a pound for pound fighter. Oh man, he's very good, man. Oh wow, he just knocked out Louis Neary. Wow, he knocked out Stephen Fulton. Oh wow, he beat Marlon Tapal. You know what I'm saying? So it just builds up your renown. It's not about him needing it for his legacy. He doesn't need it for his legacy, but if he wants to be known as the best, you got to be known as the best. So like I just think people are they're so quick to be to get disrespected, to feel disrespected, that they try to interpret everything as being and not listening. There's some dummies that say that he needs to fight in America to try to imply that he's not deserving of the position he's in, or he's not fighting anybody. I'm not saying it from that point. I'm not saying it from an opposition standpoint. I'm saying it from an exposure standpoint. Oh, and by the way, P, you want to discuss You're Not Like Us take? I ain't. No. Doc spitting CC ain't the best. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Ty. Yeah, but a lot of people they just watch what they watch. Like that idiot that was in here, he only watches fighters from a certain region that you're unaware from other fighters, and you just think that the ones that you're familiar with are the best because you're familiar with them. No, that doesn't make them the best. Who are you? Who cares about what you think? Naya Inoue is a beast. That's why he's on the pound for pound list. That's why he's 1, 2, or 3 pound for pound. but that doesn't mean that he's popular. It's like Terence Crawford. Nobody has a problem saying that Terence Crawford is not popular. So why when people say that Naoya Inoue is not popular, people get offended? Why are you getting offended by that? I have no problem saying Terence Crawford is not popular. Not as popular as he should be. Usyk, he's not as popular as he should be. He's popular, but he's not as popular as he should be. He should be more popular. The first heavyweight in a quarter century? Are you kidding me? Naoya Inoue is popular. He's not as popular as he should be. 2 times undisputed? Come on, bro. Are you kidding me? They should be more popular. Maybe their promotions need to tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Terence Crawford. He's trying to expand, right? He just did like a little what's it called? A little guest appearance on WWE the other day. I'm sorry, I don't watch wrestling anymore, so I don't know exactly what it was, but it was in the WWE, and that's gonna help your brand. You think he does that because he needs to be better? No, but it builds your popularity, exposes you to another audience. I mean, even Floyd Mayweather did it. Hell, even basketball players do it. Wasn't Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson? Didn't they do like a little guest appearance on WWE too? They're basketball players, so it just opens you up to another market. That's all. I can't speak for everybody else, but when I say that, that's all I'm saying. But there are dummies that say that, oh, Naoya Inoue needs to do this because he's not good. Like some people say he's a hype guy. I don't think he's a hype. Naoya Inoue's a beast. Terence Crawford's a beast. Usyk's a beast. So, and like somebody said, I think it was Jake, but don't let me put words in your mouth. I apologize. Somebody also, or maybe it was Oscar. They said, I don't think that Naoya Inoue beating TJ Doheny will move the needle as far as his pound for pound. And I agree. It's not going to change anything. And that's okay, but it's not. Like, especially if you're his competition, right? This is one of the best competitions that we've seen for pound. That's not in the same weight division, right? Because all 3 of them, the top 3 pound for pound, they all have a commonality. They all have a common denominator. That's undisputed in not 1, but 2 weight classes. That's crazy. So Usyk, Inoue, and Crawford all have undisputed in 2 separate weight classes. That's fire. So in order to try to give your best possible order, then you got to break things down further, because all 3 of them are beasts for having undisputed 2 weight divisions. So you got to look a little closer. And when you look a little closer, as far as like, let's just go by the recent opponents, there's no way that you could compare Israel Madrimov, Tyson Fury, and TJ Doheny. Tyson Fury's on the pound for pound list, or arguably on the pound for pound list. You know, he was undefeated when Usyk beat him, and that's who Usyk's fighting again. Israel Madrimov was an undefeated fighter and a champion at a higher weight division than Terence Crawford normally fights at. And Terence Crawford beat him. That's who he fought and beat him. And now Naoya Inoue is fighting TJ Doheny, who's not a champion, who's like 4-3 or 3-4 in his last 7 fights. I think he's 3-4. And that's who he's fighting next. You can't compare TJ Doheny to Israel Madrimov or Tyson Fury. So that's why, if you're going just off of that, that's why it doesn't move the needle, like I think Oscar said. You're absolutely right. It does not move the needle as far as his pound for pound placement. My body type is weird because my physique, so I'm always a lot lighter. I actually appeared because I wrestle in boxing. My most comfortable weight is around 145. I don't think Inoue should fight Tank. I don't think he should fight him either. I think that person was tripping. Ain't gonna end well for him. If Tank fights him in Japan, he gonna get snatched up. Bruh, shut up, bruh. I just remember today, Kendrick. Facts. You should have reminded me yesterday. Yeah, Kendrick. Yeah. Oh, Kendrick, I meant to tell you though. And Ty, I can't wait for him to come back. Check your DMs, Ty. I mean Kendrick, but you don't have to now though. But I think that Relo guy was I think that was Illuminati, bro. I think that was Illuminati, man. The Illuminati's a troll, bro. Undisputed 2 times. You're right, Jake. It's crazy, bro. For 3 people to have it at the same time is crazy. I had thought of Crawford and Inoue having a secret rivalry of being pound for pound number 1. Usyk, I don't think really cares. That's a good point. Yeah. I think they all care. But yeah, that's a good point, Jake. I don't know. I think they all kind of care. I think they all care. Who do I think cares the most? I kind of think Inoue cares the most though. And so I kind of agree with you. I think Terence Crawford. I would say that Usyk cares the least, just from how he talks and how he carries himself. But I think Usyk cares the least, but I still think he cares. And I think that Inoue cares the most, just because I don't know if you remember the interview, but when they interviewed Inoue and they asked him who he thinks is the best, and they mentioned Terence Crawford and Usyk, he's like, yeah, those guys are good, but he said, I think it's important for me to consider myself the best. Which is nothing wrong with that. But when Usyk won, I'm gonna just give you an example now. When Usyk won against Tyson Fury, what did Terence Crawford say? Terence Crawford said, hey, man, I'm pound for pound. I'm on the pound for pound list. But what Usyk did is crazy. He said, if somebody has Usyk above me, I would not argue that, because Usyk deserves it. Now, Inoue hasn't said anything like that. But everybody thinks he's the most humble, right? And everybody thinks that Terence Crawford is arrogant, right? I wonder why. I probably, am I lying, Ty or Clone or Kendrick, or you could go look this up, bro. Terence Crawford said, hey, man, if someone had Usyk above me right now, what he did is phenomenal. I wouldn't be mad. I think he even went as far as to say that I have Usyk number one. So I do think that Usyk cares the least, but I think that Terence Crawford, I think they all care, but I think Inoue cares the most. I think Terence Crawford probably cares the second most, and I think Usyk cares the least. But I will say this too, Usyk and Terence Crawford are friends too, so. Well, the minute I eat something in such a way, I blow up to 160 and look like a bodybuilder because he sounded too dumb to correct. I was going to say that yesterday, but wait, what happened? What you was going to say yesterday? He said he sounded too dumb to correct. Bro, I got to stop entertaining that. But like I said, we implemented something, and it's influenced by Edwin and Rello. Yeah, we got to have a timer for it. Unless you have a reputation, like if you're a mod or a member, or like you have a reputation of being able to hold an intelligent conversation and be courteous of other people that are talking, and not trying to dominate the conversation and dictate the conversation, then if you don't have a reputation of doing that, like Kendrick and Ty and Clone and everybody else who could come in the stream and talk and be courteous of others and considerate of others, then you'll be on a timer. And it's as simple as that. I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes tops, because I can't have that, bro. I shouldn't. We're all adults here. We should know common courtesy. They don't talk when other people are talking, especially if they just let you talk for 10 minutes. So yeah, we gonna implement that. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, let's do it right now. Let's do it right now, chat. Do I have a 2-minute timer though? I think I have a 3 minutes is too long. Do I have a 2-minute timer? I have a 3-minute timer. I don't have a 2-minute timer. So I have to make a 2-minute timer or download one. I can make one real quick though. I could just cut down the 3-minute timer to 2 minutes. Matter of fact, that'd be cool, because when we watch the women fights, I can make a 2-minute timer. That way we can have the women's clock too. Which I think that they should be bumped up to 3 minutes anyway. But chat, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna do that right now, yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a 2-minute timer. Where do you think I'm gonna put it? Like over here in the corner. Shoot, I can't. No, this way. Over here in the corner. So when somebody joins the stream, they have 2 minutes. Like, how long is this though? Wrap it up. How long is this? 30 seconds.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So I'm actually making a 1.5-minute timer, because this is the last 30 seconds.
It's not a test, it's the real deal. Help me. Help me. Nigga. Help me. Pop it up. Let that
shit up, B.
That's dope as hell, Ty. Post about your sparring if you have any tape in Discord. It helps a lot, even though I didn't go pro in my uncommon body type of being a natural southpaw. I guess be a lot of calls are flowing out. That is dope. My boy out there getting flued out. What, you a city girl?
What do you mean by that?
I'm glad you said flown and not flued. Boy, hey, Kendrick, man, Ty get. Oh yeah, Ty definitely Wendy Williams, a boxer, bro. My boy out here getting flued out. I'm just joking, Ty. I'm just joking. Don't beat me. Don't pull up on me, bro. Don't pull up on me, bro. Yeah, no Diddy. Yeah, no Diddy. It's crazy. That's crazy. You let that slide, clone. Because if I said that, you wouldn't let that slide, but you let that slide. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how you let that slide.
What?
Oh boy, out here getting flued out. Kendrick, it was two, but that's the thing. I'm like stuck between a rock and a hard place, Kendrick, because I know unfortunately, the majority of boxing fans are like that. I mean, look, we just saw two more today. The dude that came in here screaming about Tank for whatever reason, he was Assessor Tank, and I'm the one that actually likes him. It's like, if you dislike somebody, bro, hate is a terrible emotion, bro. And then you talk about him like somebody likes it, like more than somebody that likes him. I just like him for boxing. I don't know why you dislike him. Whatever, that's your business though. And then we had the other guy coming here about Australian boxing. I love Australian boxers. I'm not gonna lie, because you like Australian boxers and you think that just because you're Australian, you're better than everybody. I mean, that's not how life goes, man. Like you should like the sport, in my opinion. It don't matter if the person is black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or somewhere in between. Like, you should recognize greatness. It doesn't matter where Canelo's from. Canelo could be from Florida or Tijuana. He's a beast. It doesn't matter where Tank's from. He could be from Baltimore or Lagos. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter where Usyk is from. He could be from, I don't know, Montego Bay, Kingston, or Manchester. It doesn't matter, bro. Greatness comes from everywhere, bro. And the fact you can't recognize that your life is sad, bro. That sucks. You're a sad, lonely individual, man. I have too many people I love of all shades, shapes, sizes, and shades and complexions, you know? I never understood that. And then, like, when you get in a battle with them, it's going to sound like, because I have the mic in front of my face, it's going to sound like I'm hating on Jay Opetaia or any Australian boxer, bro. I had Liam Paro, who's Australian, beating Subra Matias. But I didn't have him beating Subra Matias because he's Australian. I had him beating him because I think he's better. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have him losing. I didn't have Subra losing because he's Puerto Rican. I had him losing because I thought that Liam Paro was better. I don't have Miguel Cotto beating Margarito, which I was wrong the first time, but Margarito cheated. You know, he cheated. I didn't have Cotto beating Margarito because he's Puerto Rican. I had him because I like him more, and because I think he's better. I didn't have Margarito losing because he's Mexican. I had him losing because I thought he was worse. I thought Cotto was better, and he proved that the second fight. So it's like, bro, I don't have Floyd beating Oscar De La Hoya because he's American. They're both American, but Floyd is better. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, maybe because of my background, you know, my best friend growing up is Filipino, you know, coming from the hood or whatever. But I still, you know, I love my black brothers and sisters, but I don't have to, in order to prove my love and my pride for myself and people that look like me, I don't have to go for I don't have to prove that through my fandom in boxing. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. I don't understand that. But it's not wrong to go for people that look like you. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not demonizing that. But when you use that to discredit others, that's where something's wrong. When you treat people that aren't like you as inferior, that's wrong. And you think that you're superior, that's when it's wrong. You should always be prideful of where you're from, who you are, what you look like, and where you come, where you're at, where you're going, and where you've been. Always be proud of that. I'm definitely a proud black man, but I'm not. That's not pride. When you think that you're better than somebody, that's narcissism, and that's prejudice. When you think that because of what you are and because of what somebody isn't, you're better than them or they're inferior. You should always be proud of who you are. There's nothing wrong with being proud of who you are, no matter what you are.
But when you use that quote unquote pride, you know, it's really masking hate. You know, you're really hateful, and you're trying to masquerade that hate as pride for yourself. No, it's not pride for yourself. You're just a hateful MFer. And there's a lot of that in boxing. Ty gonna whoop your. I have no problem calling it out. I have no problem because you know what I mean. Because at the end of the day, you know, I'm a nice person. And, like, don't take my kindness for weakness. I ain't worried about nothing. And I don't think you could whoop me, so I ain't worried about that. Tie a nurse so I could get access to the freaky lady nurse. Hey, where they at though? Low key, I feel like I'm the reason Jaime beat Gabe, but they put me out the gym for dropping her so many times. Dang, and they forced me to fight Orthodox too. Oh, where are you sparring with Gabe Rosado? Man, tell Gabe Rosado come on the show, man. I rock with Gabe Rosado, man. Gabe Rosado a beast, bro. He's another fighter that I think that people don't respect, man, because he has a lot of L's. That dude fought any and everybody. You know what I'm saying? We got to respect fighters. Just because you're not the best or you're not undefeated, that don't mean you're not a good fighter or you don't have a good career. You know, but... Put me on one of them nurses, you feel me? I love a woman in scrubs. Yeah, man. I love me a woman in scrubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just think people like the best. I think that what it is too with me is that I get annoyed, you know. I keep it cool and I like it too much. People like when somebody is just biased for one thing, whether they like it because they agree or they like it to hate on it and disagree. They like that. They like when they know that, oh, you're ridiculously, unequivocally a Gervonta Tank Davis fan and you think that they're infallible, or you're 1,000% a Canelo fan so you think he's infallible, or 1,000% Nahi Inoue fan you think he's infallible. I'm not like that, bro. I appreciate boxing, man. That's a tape I kept trying to get because I don't think he'd trip about it. He's not active, so I'm not breaking no rules. He was 140, right? Put me on one of them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, just holler at him, bro. I don't want to show no tape. If I show a tape of sparring, he definitely ain't gonna come rock out for an interview. Any breaking news so far? I haven't seen any breaking news since I've been on. Oh, well, some breaking news right now. It says Sonny Edwards versus Galal Yafai in talks to potentially take place later this year. I like Sonny Edwards, man. I just don't know. He just stay away from Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Derek Chisora and Jamal Charlo. Him and his brother talk too much. Those guys talk too much. They can't fight. They're all hype. They talk too much and they can't fight. He got worked by Canelo Alvarez. They talk too much, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I like Derek Chisora, but he talks too much. I like Derek Chisora, but what did he say about American fighters? He said American fighters they don't have the dog in them because Martin Bacoli, who's a Democratic, he's from the Democratic Republic of Congo. He beat Jared Anderson, and I guess Zhang beat Wilder. So now Derek Chisora says that American fighters don't have a dog in them. Terence Crawford don't have dog in them. Gervonta don't have dog in them. Shushu Carrington don't have dog in them. That's just when people be. Matter of fact, I'm sure that he lost to quite a few American boxers. But he definitely put on a good show against Joe Joyce. I don't know how he was hitting Joe Joyce with some of those shots. But I like Derek Chisora though. But that's his opinion, you know what I'm saying? Errol Spence lost. Does Errol Spence not have dog in him? He just lost to Terence Crawford. He got dog in him. You feel me? VERGIL ORTIZ got dropped so many times by Serhiy Boachuk. He's American. Does he not have dog in him? If you get dropped, you get up. You have dog in you. So I don't know what kind of dog he's talking about, but just having dog in you doesn't mean you win. Because it's so funny because
if he's saying that Jared Anderson, and I don't even like Jared Anderson as far as, I definitely did not think he was a future of American heavyweight boxing. I thought that was that title was bestowed upon him prematurely. And as we saw, I had Martin Bakole winning, and as we saw, Martin Bakole did that. But when you say he has dog in him, Jared Anderson definitely displayed a dog in him. He kept getting up after getting dropped repeatedly. That's demonstrating a dog. A dog doesn't mean that you're going to win all the time. And it's so funny because Derek Chisora considers himself a dog. I'm sure he does. He has dog in him. He has more losses than all of them combined. So I guess he's not a dog either. Because if you try to say because you lose, that doesn't make you, that makes you more or less of a dog because you lost. Last time I checked, Derek Chisora has like 13, 14, 15 losses. So I guess he's not a dog either. What? A dog is continuing to fight. Well, actually, I don't know. Has Derek Chisora fought any? Let me look it up. I don't know if Derek Chisora fought any American. Like, what was the last American fighter that he fought? I don't know, because I remember his fight against Joseph Parker, David Hay. Let me look it up right now. He may have beaten all the American fighters he fought. I don't think he really fought any big American fighters. I don't know. I ain't about to look it up though. Maybe he was talking about heavyweights. No, I just read it to you, Kendrick. He just said. Oh, you talking about when he was talking about the dog and the heavyweights? Yeah, he was talking about heavyweights right then. But no, he said American fighters though. I assumed he was talking about heavyweights, but now he's talking about Jermell Charlo, and that's why I brought it up. So I thought he was talking about. So I'm gonna read the quote to you again. So he said that about heavyweights, a couple of days ago. So he said, yeah, Derek Chisora on Jared Anderson's KO defeat to Martin Bakole. He said, can I be honest with you? American fighters are great. They talk great. But when it comes down to the business of the fight, they don't have much dog in them. So no, he was talking about American fighters, period. But he said that in reference to Bakole beating Jared Anderson. It's like, bro, you've been stopped too. Jared Anderson definitely displayed a dog. If he didn't do anything else, he displayed a dog. So I like Derek Chisora, but you don't think Martin Bakole would have stopped Derek Chisora? You almost got stopped by Joe Joyce. Man, Martin Bakole will lay you behind, put you to sleep. And then today it says Derek Chisora, him and his this is him talking about the Charlo brothers. He said him and his brother talk too much. Those guys talk too much. They can't fight. They're all hype. They just talk too much and they can't fight. He got worked by Canelo. They talk too much. Canelo's a pound for pound great. Canelo is an all-time great to me. So I don't think there's any shame in losing to Canelo. But I will say this, Jermell Charlo, that was embarrassing. That was very embarrassing the way he lost because it looked like he was cool with just surviving. So I will say that too. I agree with him in that. That was embarrassing, but losing to Canelo is not a bad thing. I mean, I don't think that the closest person, if you compare the resumes, Derek Chisora hasn't been in there with a Canelo caliber fighter. If you want to say maybe Tyson Fury, he lost to Tyson Fury, right? Maybe Tyson Fury is a pound for pound fighter, so maybe you could say Tyson Fury is he's definitely an all-time great. But for him to say that is like, bro, you lost to Dylan White. You almost lost to Joe Joyce. If Joe Joyce wasn't just sitting there to be hit, I don't know how he hit Joe Joyce with some of those shots in slow motion. It looked like, but he lost to what? Did he beat? What's the dude's name, bro? Did he fight Povetkin? I don't know, but he lost to David Hay. He got beat on by David Hay. He lost to Dylan White. He lost to Joseph Parker. He lost to, come on, bro, Tyson Fury. Come on, bro, stop it. Breaking news is August 13th, and Danny Garcia is still approximately 170. That's crazy. He's still looking big boned. Yeah, they said that Sabrina Ionescu can't dribble no more as long as she's in the WNBA. She just need to shoot. That's crazy. Maybe he was talking about everybody, but Derek can stand on the fact that he fought all the dogs. Yes, no, Derek Chisora definitely fought all the dogs in England of his era. Yes. Well, Danny made 157 by now. I don't know, bro. You got to flip those numbers. You're 175 to 157. I don't know. Not Dave's Water, but Derek can say, yeah, facts. He definitely fought all the English fights. Shout out to Derek Chisora. He's a beast. I like him. But for somebody who has 13 losses, to say that somebody isn't a dog because they lost is kind of crazy to me. So, if Derek, am I lying? Tide, am I lying? Kendrick, am I lying? Anybody, am I lying? If Jared Anderson didn't accomplish anything in the Martin Bakole fight, he accomplished showing us that he has that dog in him. As soon as he got up after that first round, and then when he got dropped again, he got up again. That's what having a dog in you is. So that's a literal definition. So it just sounds like he's hating. having a dog in you doesn't mean you don't lose. I mean, ask him. I'm pretty sure his name is War, right? Derek War Chisora, so he has dog in him. That's what going to war is. So he's saying that he has dog in him, but he has 13 losses and he's been stopped before. So that means you're not a dog because you got stopped before? That's what I be talking about when people aren't consistent with their assessments, bro. Just be consistent. And Jared Anderson got smoked by Martin Bacoli, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a dog in him. You know what I'm saying? When you get punched and you quit, or you stop fighting, that's the demonstration. That's demonstrating you don't have a dog in you. Maybe he's referring to his style of fighting. I don't know. There's no way you could cut it for me, because Jared Anderson was in his face. Jared Anderson was. It wasn't like Jared Anderson was. No disrespect to Shakur, but it's not like he was just backing up and backpedaling. Jared Anderson probably should have been backpedaling and using that jab or whatever more, but he was throwing combinations. Jared Anderson hit him with some big combinations. So go back and watch that. Please show me. Go back and watch Jared Anderson versus Martin Bacoli and show me where in that fight does Jared Anderson just demonstrate that he does not have a dog in him. I'll put money on that. You can't show me that he doesn't. The only thing that you could go on by saying he doesn't is that he lost. Smoochie in the building. You got a dog. Bro, nah, y'all disrespectful, bruh. Y'all disrespectful, bruh. So let me ask you this though. Do you think that Bacoli, how do you think a Bacoli and Derek Chisora fight goes? Because last time I checked, when I was watching Chisora, in fact, when I was watching Chisora versus Joe Joyce, Chisora backed up and backpedaled more than Jared Anderson did against Bacoli. These are facts. Am I lying? I'm not really biased, bro. You watch Derek Chisora and Joe Joyce. And watch Jared Anderson and Bacoli. Tell me who backed up more. I dropped a whole pimped out bowl of noodles today. Hey, drop a picture. Let me see the picture. I can't understand what Derek was implying. Every fight he's had, even in a loss, just know that the other guy left out the ring missing something. Thank you. I can't understand what Derek was implying. Every fight he's had, even in a loss, just know that the other guy left out in the ring missing something. Yeah, I don't understand what he was implying either. But like I said, I like Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora is a beast. Are you saying that you can understand what he's implying? Or you can't? Did you mean to put can? It sounded like you meant to put can. Derek Chisora, like I said, it's not a knock on Derek Chisora, but the only thing that demonstrates that Jared Anderson doesn't have a dog in him from the Martin Bacoli fight that he referenced was that he lost. And Derek Chisora has 13 of them things. I dropped it. It's in the chat. I'm asleep. Oh, you literally dropped it. Oh, when you said I dropped a whole, I thought you meant like you dropped, like I was chefing them up and I dropped it on, I'm talking about dropping on the head. I know you meant you literally dropped. I'm sorry, my fault. He going out on the stretcher. Thank you, Kendrick. So I mean, I guess that means he doesn't have dog in him. Hold on, chat. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run this ad real quick. Don't forget to like. Yo, it's your boy Doc again. I know you sitting there like, did this Doc just run his own commercial? Yes. Yes, I did. In the middle of the street, we run our own ads. That's what we do right here. So when you see other boxing channels implement the same idea, I don't mind people biting us. But dang, at least give us some credit. So those of you that are rocking with me, you're already a part of the best boxing channel on YouTube.
That's a fact, ain't it? Ain't it? All right, then.
You already caught up. Those that don't know, the rest of the world, they just got to catch up, baby. And they eventually will, because we bring y'all unfiltered, unbiased, raw, and educated and funny boxing takes, man. With accurate information. Can they all say the same? Of course they can. So let's get right to it, man. Why do you want to become a member of this channel? Because we already told you we're the best, but it does come along with perks, you know what I'm saying? First off, you can join at the Streets Gang prospect level. It's only $2.99. I know times is rough right now, but you can still contribute, you know what I'm saying? And what do you get? You get member shout outs like this. Shout out to my boy Kendrick for being the first Street Gang put my blood. Smoochie said I put my blood, sweat, and tears in the noodles. I'm sorry. Canelo come back. I'll bet him again. No, it was Smoochie. It was somebody else, Smoochie. Somebody else came in here trying to tell me that I guess if you're an Australian fighter, you're the best just because you're Australian. And I don't like the prejudice people like that, Cause I ain't gonna say it's racist, but it's definitely prejudice, man. I just don't like that, man. Hey, that is kind of like very annoying, man. When you can't appreciate people because they're not like you, It's not a good thing. I don't care. I don't think it's appropriate in any respect of life. When you talk about from a business standpoint, social standpoint, athletic standpoint, entertainment standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Give people their credit, bro. Greatness comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms, and nationalities and ethnicities and cultures. You know, I just can't stand that. Even his cooked old steak gives Bacoli a better fight than Jared, because both dudes were hurt, even though the outcome is Chisora losing, but he finna crash out first. Jared went out sad. I disagree with that, Ty. Jared went out sad because because of his status, because where we expect him to be great. Jared did not go out sad. He did not go out running. He did not go out cowering. He did not go out like a punk. He went out fighting, bro. That's what you want in a fighter. I think we say that he went out sad because of his what we anticipated his career to be like. We expected him to be a prospect. Jared Anderson did not cower in the moment. He did not do anything wrong except lose. He was not backing up as soon as he felt power like Jermell Charlo did against Canelo. He was not standing off and be hesitant like Shakur and Edward De Los Santos. There was nothing boring about that fight. It was exciting. Jared Anderson fought back. I don't think there's anything to hang your head down about except the fact that he lost. That's it. We got to stop it, man. We got to stop these assessments, bro. And Derek Chisora has been knocked out before too. So I don't, like I said, it would be different if he was backing up and running the whole time or something like that, and he got caught while he was in retreat. He got caught. You could argue that he lost like that and got dropped like that because he was fighting. Come on, bro. What do we do? Did we not watch the same fight? Did we not watch the same fight? Tell me where I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But tell me where I'm wrong. He didn't. In my opinion, he went. It's like saying Errol Spence. Errol Spence got beat bad by Terence Crawford because he was fighting. He didn't get beat bad because he got embarrassed and he was backing up and trying to avoid engaging. And he was, you know what I'm saying? He got beat bad because he got beat up bad. That's what we want to see. So we can't knock him for trying. Come on, bro. Derek Chisora was backing up more than Joe Joyce did. I mean, backed up more than his name is War, and he was going to war. He was swinging back, but he was on his back foot way more than Jared Anderson was. So no, I don't agree with Derek Chisora at all. And I don't understand what Derek Chisora was saying, because I don't see what part of that fight didn't demonstrate Jared was a dog. Now, if you want to talk about other fights, that's cool. But he said specifically against Bacoli. Jared went outside in my terms as a fighter because I want him to at least crash out. I did not see a dog in his eyes. Yeah, that's crazy. You got to show me, my boy. Errol still had that dog in his eyes, even though he got cooked. Okay, yo, Just Do was good. Yeah, you got to show me that. You got to show me that, Ty. You got to show me what, like, you know, me and you rock. So please show me where Jared didn't have a dog in him, or like you said, you didn't see the dog in his eyes or whatever. Errol ain't had no dog. Oh, disrespect. Come on, man. You see what I'm saying, though? We will say that, oh, we want fighters to fight anybody and we don't care about if they lose. But then when they lose, we start questioning their heart. I don't see how because that's what when you say that someone has a dog in them or doesn't have a dog in them, you're essentially questioning their heart. It's just like when you say someone doesn't have a fighting spirit, you're saying they're soft. So these are the same thing. They're synonymous. You know, so they may not be synonymous in words, but they're the same point. So show me where Jared Anderson or even Errol Spence, outside of him losing, show me where he cowered in the moment. Show me where he didn't want to fight. Show me where his heart could be questioned. I think that's the only thing. To me, that's why I was impressed by Jared Anderson, because out of everything, he got whooped on, he got beat on, but he didn't show quit. Even as soon as the referee stopped it, what did him and Errol Spence both do? They both said, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence said, what are you doing? He got mad at the ref. Jared Anderson dropped an F-bomb. And he was mad. You think that was artificial emotion? You don't think that was genuine emotion? Come on, bro. We got like, I don't know, bro. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, Ty. Yeah, I disagree with that. I don't think he was checked out. I just think he was desperate and he was just like, man, I got to give it all I got, and it just wasn't enough. You ever? I ain't gonna lie. I don't know about you, Ty, and I don't know about you, Clone, But have you ever had a dream when you're fighting somebody? I have this a lot. And like you giving it all you got. And it's just like, I'm not hurting this motherfucker. like you punching as hard as you can. You know what I'm saying? You giving it all she got. You throwing hooks, uppercuts, jabs. I don't know, it's because I used to, but you box too, Ty. So because I used to box or whatever. But I have dreams like that sometimes. And I'm doing as much as I can. I'm punching from my toes. I'm hitting them from the soles. You know what I'm talking about? I'm pulling up. I'm giving him an ancestral right hand, and it's just not moving him. He's not necessarily hurting me, but I'm just not hurting him. And every time he throws a punch, it's like I feel it in my gut, and I dodged it. You know. So that's what I feel like Jared Anderson. That was just a reality for Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson was hitting him with some good shots. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is Bacoli. I think Bacoli's very durable. Yeah, so I think it's very hard for me. I'm not saying you're wrong, but for me, you have your own perspective. But for me, it's very hard to say that Jared Anderson did not show a fighting spirit or a dog or heart. It was like he was on autopilot and stuck with what he learned from Sugar Hill. That's why I question his mentality. No, so bro, but not even moving forward to I agree with you. That's why I had Martin Bacoli winning. You got to remember, I said that I never was fond of Jared Anderson because he said he doesn't have a passion for the sport. And that's okay if you're just fighting for a check. I don't think we should demonize that, because a lot of times we project our own expectations on these fighters when Jared Anderson says he has no type ambition. He has no sort of ambition to be the best. He's just doing it because he's good at it. He's talented. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's our fault if we hear that and we don't believe him and we still put expectations on him for it, like carrying the American heavyweight division. So I was like, no, I don't think he's the best because he's told me that he's not passionate about the sport. So that's why I was never fond of him as far as thinking that he was the next person to be a star in heavyweight boxing. I don't even care about the American part, just to be good at heavyweight, because I know at a certain point that drive to be the best is what's going to separate two talented individuals. So I was like, as soon as you know this, as soon as they made the Bacoli fight, I was like, Bacoli's going to win. And I wasn't wrong. However, I think it's going a little bit too far for when somebody puts on a performance like Jared Anderson did in a losing fashion to say that, oh, he doesn't have a dog in him. Every time he got up after the first round demonstrated that he has a dog in him. Like Kendrick said, it was just a Chihuahua dog. It wasn't a big enough dog, but it was a dog. Come on, bro. Like we can't. I don't know. Like I said, I can't change your mind, Ty, but I'm a little disappointed in that take. I would expect more for you. Errol dog was, yeah, Smoochie. Maybe the dog was neutered. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was neutered. Maybe it was a little dog. You know, maybe it was a neutered dog. Maybe it was a spayed dog. Maybe it was a boy dog, a girl dog. Maybe it was a puppy dog. But they have dogs in them, man. Stop it. That's I don't know. I don't understand how you can question a dog in them every time you get up. And it's like Virgil Ortiz. If he would have lost to Serhiy Boachuk, does he now have a dog in him? He got up. Not only did he get up, when he got up, they approached the fighter that just dropped him. Virgil Ortiz did that every time. I thought it was ill-advised, but every time Virgil Ortiz got dropped, he got up and approached Serhiy Boachuk with more fervor and more intensity than he did prior to him getting dropped. That's a dog. So if he would have lost, would we question his dog or would we question his ability? Those are two different things. Questioning Jared Anderson's ability, I'm cool with that. But to question his dog or question his heart, I think that's crazy. That's exactly what he showcased. And that's what impressed me, because I thought because he doesn't have a passion for the sport, as soon as he faces adversity, like getting dropped, he would quit. And he didn't quit. It's a difference between when a dude enter a fight or flight mode It's a difference when a dude enter fight or flight mode when they just windmilling versus a man that still has demon in his eyes. I don't think he was windmilling. I think that's crazy. He was putting together combinations. Yeah, so I don't think that he thought necessarily. How can I say this? I think he was disappointed by how ineffective his shots were as far as from a damaging standpoint. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't damaging Bacoli significantly. So I thought that was a little, intimidating for him maybe. In his psyche probably. That's why I gave you the example of having a dream and not hurting the dude. But I don't think he didn't lose for lack of effort, in my opinion. And I want to see what people see. Just so please show me. I'm interested. Jared, without a doubt, has heart. We can't question that, but he still wasn't mentally there. I agree with that. I agree. Like I said, you cannot have a questionable level of dedication at the world-class level and still expect to win. So his mentality is why I didn't think he would win. But his mentality and drive in the ring and his heart in the ring, I couldn't find any flaws. I thought he tried to win. I thought he tried to win, bro. I don't think he was just windmilling. I don't think he was just throwing crazy. In my opinion, I think Derek Chisora was swinging for the fences, and he just happened to land because Joe Joyce don't have an ounce of mobility in his game. Because some of those shots, I don't know how he hit Joe Joyce with those shots. He shouldn't have been able to hit a tree blowing in the wind with them shots. Derek Chisora would bounce back off the ropes, cock back, and damn near hit the audience in the front row behind him, and then swing using the momentum of the ropes and still hit Joe Joyce. Come on, bro. That man don't have an ounce of mobility, and he was swinging wildly. I thought everything Jared Anderson did demonstrated that he's a fighter, bro. But like I said, I don't know. I could be wrong though, man. Never Arrow was mad. His horses. No, I'm done with Smoochie. I ain't got time. Ty, you the homie, but did you rewatch the fight? Thank you, Smoochie. Cause I know I can't be tripping. Like, am I tripping? I rock with Ty too. If we could disagree, that's fine. But yeah, I just think that is I think there's stuff that we could nitpick on. I don't think we could criticize. I don't think it's fair to criticize Jared Anderson with that performance for his heart. We could criticize that maybe his game plan was messed up. Maybe his ability or inability to adapt, his ability or inability rather to adapt. We could question his game plan, but his heart, I feel like that's the only thing that we can't question. That boy was trying, man. He was just in an uphill battle, and the mountain won. Fact, yeah, I agree, Smoochie. I know Ty about to pull up on me. Let me chill out. I don't want no pressure, Ty. He said Big Baby did a lot for someone who wasn't. Yeah, he did much more than a lot more for. Yeah, facts. So we gonna break this one down. She said Big Baby did a lot.
Yeah.
For someone who isn't passionate about boxing.
Yeah.
He did much more than a lot. He did much more and a lot more than fighters who fight for the love of it.
Yeah.
Facts. I don't agree with Derek Chisora at all. Like, now, if he wants to say American fighters don't whatever, that's cool. But I don't think you could base it off of what you saw against Jared Anderson. I think you're just nitpicking, and you just want to pile on a dude that lost. Because I don't think there was anything in that fight that leads anybody to question the dog in Jared Anderson. Because if he would have won and came back, people would have, if we talk about Jared, yes, it showed me a dude that has the skills and ability to fight, but just don't love it. Yes, I agree. I agree with that statement, Smooch, Ty. I think that's a completely different statement in my personal opinion. That typo was crazy, but you good, Smooch, you good. It's okay. I know typing is tough though. Not like, because when you're trying to type fast, keep up with the conversation, so that's tough. So you good. I appreciate it. That happens to me too. So I'll just read it a couple of times and try to figure it out. And Bicoli ain't Bud, but Derek comment was hate. And Bicoli ain't Bud, but Derek comment was wait, say that again, Ty. Bicoli's ain't Bud. Wait, what you mean? What you mean by Bicoli's not Bud? What Bicoli got to do with Crawford? I'm trying to make sure I understand. Oh, because I said that. What, did Bud have heart? Yeah, I agree. He's not Bud. Well, let me make sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about. That's the look I was trying to point out. Okay. Like I said, we can disagree. I'm just giving you a reason why. I'm just giving you my justification for why I disagree. But yeah, I just me personally, I don't understand how anybody could question Jared Anderson's heart after that. We could question his passion. We could question his game plan. We could question his adaptability or lack of adaptability more appropriately. But I don't think I could question his heart. Even Derek Chisora, I can't question Derek Chisora's heart in his fight with Joe Joyce. But I feel like Derek Chisora is basing that off of the fact that Jared Anderson lost. So if you want to question somebody's heart because of the amounts of losses, then Derek Chisora, you have 13 of them losses. And if Joe Joyce had an ounce of mobility in him,
you probably would have had 14 losses. You know, but I will give Derek Chisora credit because he is a dog, and I think he fights any and everybody, and I salute that. But that don't mean that I think everything he says is right. But yeah, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it, man. For the morning show, we gotta be back on later. That was a great conversation, though, man, and I appreciate it. Did I just drool on myself? But yeah, I think some people be hating because the EJ situation, the Jerry situation is different. They got cooked on 2 different grills, but that's true. But Bud was a chef and Bacoli was a fry cook. But no, I agree. But my point is that it's not even about. It's the fact that they fought back and they got up and tried to continue. I could even go to like that's why I brought in Virgil Ortiz too, Ty. It's just that Virgil Ortiz won. But I brought in Virgil Ortiz too, so I'm not saying that I agree with you. Bacoli is a different type of cooker, you know, because you're right. Bacoli's not Bud from that standpoint. He's not gonna break you down systematically like Bud will. But that's why I brought up Virgil Ortiz, Sergey Boychuk. Hell, I can even bring up Devin Haney and his fight with Ryan Garcia, how he kept getting up. You know, he didn't get stopped. As bad as he got brutalized, he kept getting up. So I think that's a demonstration of heart. You know, that in my opinion, that's the epitome of heart. When you keep trying, even when it looks like you ain't got no chance. You know, so let's think of somebody else. You know, that demonstrates that by getting up after getting dropped brutally. You know, and sometimes you get knocked out cold. That's different. I'm talking about the ones that get dropped and then they still have their wits about them and they can still get up and, you know, they still bring the fight to the person that dropped them. Instead of getting dropped. And then like I said, I'm not knocking Jermell Charlo because I respect Jermell Charlo, you know, but let's be honest, when Jermell Charlo got dropped, he was on his bicycle after that. You know, he was, you know, Canelo was chasing him around the ring. And that's not what Virgil Ortiz demonstrated. It's not what Jared Anderson demonstrated. It's not what Devin Haney demonstrated. It's not what Errol Spence demonstrated. So that's the standpoint I'm coming from. The point of reference I'm coming from. Even Floyd, when Floyd, he didn't get dropped, but he got cracked by Sugar Shane Mosley. What happened after that? Floyd hulked up on him and started walking him down. That's dog. You feel me? Like Smoochie said, and like Kendrick said, it might be a little dog. It might be a neutered dog. You know, it might be an injured dog, but it's a dog. That's what I want on my dogs. For me, even though EJ was getting cooked, he still believed he could win, even though I didn't. No, I understand what you're saying. I definitely get that part. When you said you saw in his eyes, I understood that. But I just disagree. But I understand what you're saying. In my opinion, just was trying not to go out bad. I don't even know. He said, I don't even know if he even believed he could win at a point. Nah, I feel you on that. That's why I brought up the dream. You know, it's like you might not believe you winning, but you still fighting. And, you know, like you said, fight or flight. He definitely didn't flight. Well, he might have flew after he got knocked out. After Bacoli hit him, he might have flew. But he was fighting, bro. He definitely didn't exercise his right to flight. He exercised his right to fight. Even if it's a fight that you're not fully believing in yourself at that moment. That I don't know, because I don't know. You know, that's I wasn't looking into his eyes and the depth of his soul. I was just looking at his actions. But yeah, if you're looking in his eyes, pause.
What do you mean by that?
And, yeah, if you're looking at his eyes, you're making a read from his eyes, then I'm not knocking that, because I wasn't looking that intently. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I wasn't even looking that deeply during the fight. But to me, he was demonstrating the fight, and I respect the young man for that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and slide, man. Take care, Smoochie. Appreciate you coming through. Ty, thank you so much for coming through, bruh. And thank you for the good conversation, everybody. Oscar, Kendrick, shout out to y'all, my brethren, Jake, everybody that came through and contributed to a good conversation, a great boxing conversation, man. I love that, man. Shout out to Clone for dropping the $5 on the chat. That bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
He said, look at Tevin Farmer's eyes. He got that dog. Bro, I'm getting off. No, Smoochie, nah, Smoochie, nah, you wrong. No.
All right.
No.
I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
No, Smoochie, nah, you wrong. I ain't gonna lie. Smoochie said he got the Forrest Whitaker eye.
No, bro. No, that was wrong. That was wrong, Smooch. I ain't gonna lie. You foul. He made his choice with Derek critique. Yeah, I think Derek's choice critique was far too harsh. Nah. But I'm getting out of here, man. Cause nah. Smooch, you wrong, man. Y'all remember with God we can do anything. Without God we are nothing. The doctor's out. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.